Hi everyone, welcome to PW NEET English. I hope I'm perfectly audible and visible to all of you. Hello everyone, am I perfectly audible and visible to everybody? Yes, am I perfectly audible and visible to everybody? Do let me know in the chat section, guys. Do let me know in the chat section. Am I perfectly audible as well as visible to all of you? Yup, quick. Am I perfectly audible and visible to all of you? Yes. Yes. Okay, that's great. So welcome to PW NEET English, guys. I'm your biology educator Ambika Sharma, and today the chapter that we are going to start as well as we are going to finish is the living word. So this is the first chapter of your class 11th biology. We are going to start with our very first chapter. So it is basically the Yakeen NEET Backlog series. Okay, so you know that today it is the last day to avail our batches at such low price. Okay, so if you have enrolled in Yakeen NEET English batch, there is nothing to worry about. Why? Because we are going to complete all the backlogs. So yes, in detail, beta, right? In detail, we will be covering our chapter today. So with the help of these backlog series classes, we'll help you out to complete your backlogs. So make sure you join the session, make sure you join the batch, because tomorrow I'm going to start a new batch in the chapter, new chapter in the batch, Yakeen NEET English batch, and that chapter name is Structural Organization in Animals. Okay, so if you have enrolled in batch, very good. If not, what you guys can do, you can watch this particular video, and here in this video we have the enrollment link, so you can click there, you can fill up your details, and you can be the part of our batch, right? If you want to enroll in the Yakeen NEET English batch. And if you go for the infinity batches, guys, so you will be having the access of Yakeen NEET 2.0 English. Moreover, whatever batches we are going to start further, you will get the access of that. Infinite practice, NCRT Pitara, there are so many features that you people will get there. So this is our batch. You can enroll. Me, Subrat sir, Gaurav sir, we are going to guide you. So you will get this at just rupees 4,200, and this is the price for the complete course, not for 1 month. Okay, so let's start the chapter. What is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is Living Word. Now, here in this particular chapter, what are the topics that we are going to cover today? Complete chapter, of course, without any doubt, complete chapter, right? So we are going to start with this particular thing, that what is living, right? Then we will talk about the taxonomy, we'll talk about the nomenclature, right, beta? So the hierarchy, all the things we will cover in detail. Normally from this particular chapter, you do not get many questions. Okay, the number of questions earlier, if I'll see, earlier if you will check a previous year paper, so you will see that only either one question, or sometimes they don't even ask the question from this particular chapter. But in re-NEET examination, right, student, in re-NEET examination, around 3 questions were there from this particular chapter. So from re-NEET 2026 exam, this is what we all have learned. We cannot categorize anything as important and not so important. So we have to complete, right? We have to complete our syllabus properly. Okay. Okay. So with the help of this session, you'll get everything. Okay, Tiara will help you out. Tiara, you can contact the PW support. You can share all the details and they will definitely help you out. So let's start the chapter. So what is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is The Living Word. Now, we'll start from the basics, okay? Like we always do. How are we going to start, people? We are going to start with the... Yes, we are going to start from the basics. So as I said, the name of the chapter is Living Word. Now in this particular chapter, if you people will see NTA syllabus, right? NTA syllabus, if you guys will see, in that syllabus, they have mentioned the topic, what is living. That particular topic is not given in new NCRT, but overall, that particular topic, what is living, is the part of your syllabus. So we are going to start from that, and that topic is there in the old NCRT, and here in the lecture notes also you will get that NCRT portion. Okay, so let's start. So what is the name of the chapter? What is the name of the topic? What is living? So let's talk about that first. So students, see, in the junior grades, whenever we discuss now, somebody is living, yeah, how can we define or differentiate living things from the non-living things? What we used to discuss, living things, they will move, they can breathe, they can eat, they can reproduce, right? They respond to the surrounding, this and that. That is what we used to study. Yes or no? That is what we used to study, of course. Of course, that is what we used to study. I hope you are well aware. Now here in this particular, right beta, now here in this particular topic, we have to see some other things also. They say, what's the topic? Topic is what is living. So here you need to know that living beings are having some properties. So living beings show some characteristic features. So our discussion will be around this particular topic. Show some characteristic features. So to start with, first one. Yes, please pay attention, everybody. Please pay attention. So to start with, we have growth, number one. Number two, we have reproduction. These are the properties that we need to discuss. Cellular organization is there. Metabolism. And then comes the consciousness. Then comes the consciousness. Are you getting my point? So what do we have here? Please pay attention. Here, what do we have? Growth, reproduction, cellular organization, metabolism, consciousness. Is that clear? Done? Done, beta? So growth, reproduction, cellular organization, metabolism, consciousness, these are some properties. Now here what you need to know. All these are, this is living beings, they show some characteristic features. So these are the characteristic features. Yes, you can also include that living beings, they move, they breathe, all that things, right? They respire, all that things, they are basically the characteristic features. But what exactly we need to know here? We need to know about the defining features or the defining properties. That's the terminology that you have to use. Defining properties or the defining features. That's the terminology that we have to use. Now, ma'am, what is that defining feature or defining properties? So let me tell you what's that. The properties which are present in living beings. These are the properties which are present in living beings. These are the properties which are present in living beings. Kindly pay attention. Once again, I'll repeat the same. So, properties which are present in living beings without any exception, like all the living beings will show these properties without any exception and are not shared with non-living beings. Are called defining features. That's what you need to know. So, characteristic feature, general feature, which we see in the living beings. Here we do not have any character, demarcation, right? But when I'm saying, specifically when I'm saying defining property, so we are trying to say that they are present in living beings without any exception and they will not be shared with, they are not going to be there in the non-living beings. So such type of properties, right? Such type of properties are the defining properties. So out of all these things, right? So these three are your defining properties. Is that clear? So these three are defining properties. So let me tell you students that growth and reproduction, okay, these are the characteristic features. So they are the characteristic feature, but they are not the defining features, okay? Overall, they all are characteristic feature, but when it comes to growth and reproduction, they are not defining properties or defining features. These three are the defining properties. That's what you people need to remember. Is that clear? So defining properties are simple. Ki you are my best friend. You are not allowed to be best friend with somebody else. You have to be with me. You are just my best friend. This is the logic of defining properties. Ready? Ready? So if you are getting it, if I'm perfectly audible and visible, do smash the like button, guys. Do smash the like buttons and mark your attendance. Chale. So let's start with the very first property, which we call as growth. So what exactly is the growth? We all have seen the growth. Even if you talk about a single-celled organism, the cytoplasmic growth will be there in that single-celled organism as well, right? You talk about the multicellular organism, you people see the growth. You can take your example. You can take my example. We all are developed from a single cell zygote. That zygote will divide, that will become multicellular, and then further it will grow, that will form a baby. And then also after the birth, you see that how do we grow? The growth is there. Am I right? The growth is there. Am I right? Yes, everybody, the growth is there, and that's what we need to remember. So when we talk about the growth, it is an irreversible permanent increase. It is an irreversible, what sort of? It is an irreversible permanent increase in the size of an organ, their part, organ, whatever it is. So it is the word here is irreversible permanent increase in the size of an organ, its part, or even an organ, its part, or even an individual. So that's what we have. This is what growth is, and that's what you need to remember, right? So the word here is irreversible permanent increase. This is the important word. So growth is not something reversible. You cannot reverse, right? If I'm grown up, I cannot reverse. I can put so many anti-aging creams, beta, but still the aging will be there. I cannot go to, and I cannot have that skin which I used to, right? Which I used to have 10 years ago. So you know that when we talk about the growth, right, when we are growing, even let's suppose if I have certain height, I cannot be like, no, I want to reduce it. Not at all. So it is the irreversible permanent. Irreversible is the word, permanent is the word which you all need to focus and which you all need to remember here, right? Next part is the twin properties of growth. Okay, ma'am, fine. It is irreversible permanent increase. So what exactly is happening? So when it comes to the twin properties of growth, so what do you have here? So let's talk about that. So twin properties of growth will be increase in mass. So whenever you people will see the growth, there will be an increase in mass, and my dear students, there will be an increase in the number of individuals or number of cells. That's what you have to remember. Like if let's suppose if a structure is growing, if it is becoming multicellular, so can I not say that there is an increase in the number of cells? The thing is dividing, growing, right? That entities, they are also increasing. So that's what we have. Is that clear? Right? So twin properties of growth, increase in mass is there, increase in the number of individual. That's what you have to remember. So when it comes to the growth, so growth is the result of metabolism. What is growth, beta? So growth is the result of metabolism. So ma'am, what is metabolism? Metabolism means chemical reactions. What is the meaning of metabolism? Metabolism means sum total of all the chemical reactions which are going on in our body. Beta, living beings cannot survive without chemical reactions. Even if you talk about a living being, you all know, this is how I start. Atom, molecules, elements, compounds, inorganic, organic, right? That things are making this protoplasm, right? Basically, these are the chemicals due to which these non-living structures are changing into the life. You talk about DNA. DNA is what? DNA is something that stores the information, chemical compound it is. So when in nature, these chemical compounds, when they started storing the information, started expressing it, right? These chemical compounds, they made a machinery by which they can, transfer that, all that things we have here. All that things we have here. That's what we need to see. That's what we need to remember. Are you getting my point? So ultimately, what am I trying to tell you? That it is all about the chemical reactions. It is all about the chemical compounds, my dear student. So sum total of all the chemical reactions which are going on in our body is the metabolism, right, students? So whenever you talk about the chemical reactions, sometimes there is the build-up, sometimes there is the breakdown. So no doubt individually, separately, we will also discuss what metabolism is, but still, because I believe that some of you are still not aware what exactly is the metabolism. So I'm telling you. So sum total of all the reactions, all the chemical reactions occurring in a living body, they are making the metabolism. And here you have two words, beta. One is anabolism and another word is catabolism. These are the two words that you all have. One is anabolism, another word is catabolism. Anabolism, catabolism, anabolism, catabolism. So from this cata word, you can remember cut. That's my way to remember that. Catabolism, cut. That's what you can remember. Okay. Catabolism, cut. Cut means to break something, right? So catabolism is trying to tell us what? It is saying that chemical reaction in which breakdown is there. Just like glucose, you are oxidizing it, you are breaking it. Photosynthesis, you are making something. Carbon dioxide and water, it is joining to make the glucose. So that is what? That is anabolism. So catabolism is breakdown, anabolism is the buildup. Catabolism is breakdown, anabolism is the buildup. So overall, bacha, if I have to talk about the growth is taking place, right? In mass is increasing, cell number is increasing. So it is all the result of metabolism. Are you getting my point? It is all the result of metabolism. And above all, what else you need to remember here, that if anabolism, you understand? Build up. If anabolism is greater than catabolism, growth occurs. So basically, students, if your expenses are more than, right, your income, expenses are more, right, you will not be able to save the money. You know that, right? So if we have to do the savings, so we need to lower down, we have to cut down our expenses. That's the same thing here. So if chemical reactions are going on in my body, if chemical reactions are there in my body, so obviously if in the chemical reaction buildup is more than breakdown, right, the things that are forming, if they are more than, right, more than that catabolism, then definitely growth will be there. So if you want to see the growth, the anabolism should be more than the catabolism. So this part is clear. This part is clear. So beta, this topic, this point of twin properties, it's a PYQ. You need to remember that. You need to know that, right? And then this is the result of metabolism. That's what you have to understand. I hope this part is clear. Now, when I talk about the growth, there are two types here. What do we have? Two types of growth. One is intrinsic. So intrinsic, can I also call it as internal? Yes, ma'am. Another one is, hello everybody, pay attention, quick. External growth. Can I call it as extrinsic? Absolutely. We can call it as extrinsic growth, right? Now, internal growth, the technical term that you are going to use here is intussusception. What's the word that you people are going to use here? It is going to be intussusception. It is going to be intussusception. What's that, guys? Intussusception. External growth, what's the term that you are going to use here? You'll use the term accretion. You will use the term accretion. So intussusception is there, accretion is there. Intussusception is there, accretion is there. That's what you need to know. So internal growth is there, and then comes the external growth. So living beings, I'll explain you this. Living beings show internal growth. Like take the example. You can take, yes, we can have one example. For an example, if you talk about yourself, right? And even you guys have seen babies, they grow. It's not like that they get, some layers got deposited on them and that's how they show the growth. That's how they increase the mass. No, internal growth is there, right? The cell size will change. The cell number will increase. The I would say bone length will also increase. Hormones are playing role. Ultimately, all of that is the chemical reaction, but we are growing. And how do we grow? We grow internally. The internal growth is there. What do we have, guys? We have the internal growth. That's what you need to remember. Are you getting my point? That's what you need to remember. So intrinsic growth, internal growth, living beings, they show internal growth. They grow internally. Now, when it comes to the external growth, right here, accumulation on body surface occur that results in increase in mass. So what is this? So what is happening here, guys? What is happening here? So accumulation on body surface, the substance, the things, the deposition will be there. Accumulation on the body surface will be there. Now, due to that accumulation, what will happen? External, right? It is the external growth. It is not something internally. It is not something which is, kind of self-driven or internally it is growing. No, accumulation will be there. Accumulation. So because accumulation on body surface will occur, that will result in an increase in mass. So non-living beings, right? Non-living things like sand dunes, mountains, boulders, etc. show such growth. So, can you not see that non-living beings are also showing the growth? But that is the external growth, because mass, increase in mass is also it is also a property of growth, and this is what you will see here. So, A for accretion, A for accumulation. That's how you can remember that. So, accumulation, external growth, extrinsic growth, the layers will get deposited. So, this is what we have to understand here. First. Now, second point, right, I always related with the cell wall. I always related with the plant cell wall. So, if you people remember, when we talk about the cell wall, right, when we talk about the plant cell wall, do you remember in a young plant cell, we talk about the primary cell wall? I believe you know that much. When you talk about the young plant cell, what do you discuss? You talk about the primary cell wall. So, primary cell wall is thin, it is living, it is flexible. Overall, in the NCERT and overall, that's what we have discussed, that cell wall is dead, it is non-living, it is rigid. But that's not true. Initially, when you talk about the plant cell, newly formed plant cell, which is capable of growth, you people will see a thin outer layer. You will see a thin outer layer that will expand. The expansion will be there. So that thin outer layer is nothing. It is the primary cell wall. So it is thin, it is living, it is flexible. It is thin, it is living, it is flexible and show internal growth. Here you will see intussusception. That word you have to remember, guys. So that will show internal growth. Now, if I talk about secondary cell wall, right? So when a plant cell, it is growing, it will become mature. So what will happen? Secondary cell wall will form, right? Because plant cell is mature, right? Plant cell is getting mature. So it will be dead, rigid. Yes, please. And here in the secondary cell wall growth, you people see accretion. And that is why, students, whenever you make the right secondary cell wall, so you people show what? You people show the layers, right? Just say S1, S2, S3, we talk about the layers. So primary cell wall show the intussusception because it is considered to be living, thin, flexible, and secondary cell wall, it is dead, it is rigid, beta, it is dead, it is rigid, and we know that what will it show? It is showing the accretion, accumulation. So that's how relate the things, that's how revise the things, right, beta? Now, the next part that we have is, you know that in plants, what is there? Growth is unlimited. I believe you all remember that. In plants, what do we have? We'll see that the growth is unlimited. Why is it so? Basically, plants, they grow continuously throughout their life due to the activity of meristematic tissue. I believe you all know about the meristematic tissue. So meristematic tissue, it is present in the case of plants and you know it very well, right? You know it very well. It is the group of actively dividing cell, right? These are the cell. So it is a group of actively dividing cells. So these are the cells which will keep on dividing. So plants, they grow continuously throughout their lives due to the activity of meristematic tissue. So continuously because they grow, that's why we are saying growth is unlimited in the case of plants. Now, when you people talk about animals, so in animals, bacha, in animals, growth is limited because you know that they can grow only up to a certain age. Yes or no? So in animals, growth is limited. Animals can grow only up to a certain age. I hope this part is crystal clear to everybody. So they can grow only up to a certain age. Later, in some tissues, cell division, yeah, growth occurs to replace the lost tissue. Like let's suppose if there is any lost part, yeah, any division, any injuries there for that healing, then we see the division occur. Yeah, let's suppose there are some parts which will show if there is some lost part or something, growth can be there, right? But otherwise in the case of animals, the growth is limited because they can grow only up to a certain age, right? They can grow only up to a certain age. So that's what we need to understand. Am I clear? That's what we need to understand. And I hope up to this part, everything is crystal clear. Yes, please. Yes, please. So now, beta, we have to discuss the next part. And what's that? Everyone, please pay attention. We will talk about the mutually inclusive events. And then we are going to talk about the mutually exclusive events. Right, beta? Mutually inclusive events, and what do we have? We have mutually exclusive events. So let's talk about that. So guys, understand one thing. Just see, if like some students, they are chatting in the chat box here, in this particular chat box here, they are just chatting. They are not discussing anything. They are not answering what I'm asking. They are chatting. Now, they are chatting, they are wasting their time, right? We just have around 9 months left. So they are just wasting their time. You know it very well, right? Now, what will happen? Because they are wasting their time, they will not be able to get selected. So these two things are not taking place. Yeah, these two things are occurring simultaneously. You will waste your time, right? You will regret later. You will not be able to qualify. Obviously, you cannot differentiate that things. You will not study, you're not consistent, you're not revising, you're not prioritizing, right, your studies. Obviously, how will it result? You will not be able to crack. Simultaneously, things are occurring. There is no differentiation here. You waste your time, you'll get failed. Now, on the other hand, right, when two events, so basically this is the example which I used to explain you mutually inclusive events. So mutually inclusive events, they can occur simultaneously. That's what I am trying to tell you. They can occur simultaneously, or they occur simultaneously. So I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. In unicellular organisms, I hope you all are well aware of it. So in unicellular organisms, growth and reproduction. Understand this, I'll explain it too. So you first understand it. So growth and reproduction are mutually inclusive events. What are they? They are mutually inclusive events as they occur simultaneously. Understood? Understood? So, in unicellular organisms, growth and reproduction are mutually inclusive events as they occur simultaneously. For an example, take the example of this single-celled organism. So, this single-celled organism will show the growth. The cytoplasmic increase will be there. Right, students? The cytoplasmic increase will be there. Now, you know one thing. When there is the increase in the size, cytoplasmic increase is there, right? What will happen here, guys? The surface area to volume ratio will be disturbed. First thing, when it is increasing, when it will increase its size, you know that it's a unicellular organism, cytoplasmic growth is there. So when it is increasing its size, what will happen? Surface area will decrease in comparison to the volume. Matlab surface area is less in comparison to the volume. Volume is more. In comparison to that, this is the main thing. In comparison to that, surface area is less. So first cause of cell division. Second, nuclear cytoplasmic ratio will be disturbed because nucleus will have same size, cytoplasmic growth is there. Now nucleus cannot efficiently control the activity of that complete cell. So when these two things are occurring, because it is growing, the disturbance is there. So this cell will divide into two, right? This cell will divide into two, right? So here cell was just growing. Cell is like, wow, let's show the growth, let's grow, right? That is an important feature. That's a very important feature, the growth. So let's grow. But cell is growing, but eventually it will divide into two. So here in such type of organisms, you cannot differentiate growth and reproduction as a different event, right? You will see that these two things are occurring simultaneously. Right? Cell is growing and it will just divide. Cell is growing and it will just divide. So that's what you need to mark here. That's what you need to understand here. Right? So these are the mutually inclusive events. So mutually exclusive events, events that occur separately. So these are the events, beta, that occur separately. So here what am I going to talk? Just say in higher animals and plants. In higher plants and animals, you know that growth and reproduction are mutually exclusive. I hope this part is clear to everybody present here. So growth and reproduction are mutually exclusive because growth is a different process and the reproduction will be a different process in their case. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Is that clear? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So they are going to be the mutually exclusive events. Is that clear? Yes, everyone, do respond in the class. Yes, in the chat section, do revert. Yes, please. Right? So ultimately, what will be our conclusion? Conclusion is simple. Increase in mass is basically a growth. That's a property of growth. So non-living beings, I told you already, just say mountains, you cannot notice that, but with time they also grow. Accumulation is there. Take the example of a sand dune. So students, with time that will also grow. So increase in mass is there. So increase in mass, growth. So non-living, increase in mass is a property of growth. So non-living beings, your non-living things also show growth. Also show growth, yes or no? No doubt it is due to the accumulation. It is accretion, but still they are showing it. So increase in mass is a property of growth. So non-living things, they also show growth. They also show growth. Yes or no? They also show growth. So growth is not a defining property, right? Growth is also best friend with non-living beings. So that is why living beings are like, we are not going to consider you, right? We are not going to consider you as what? As the defining property. So this is all about the growth part, beta. So do remember these statements that growth is a characteristic feature. Yes, please. Growth is a characteristic feature. A option, true. B option, false. So growth is a characteristic feature. Yes, beta, this statement is a true statement. Chaliye, second statement, growth is a defining property. What's that? Is it a true or false? That's false. Because growth is not a defining property. It is also, right beta, shared with the non-living beings. Now, the third point here is internal growth. What is the term beta that we have used for internal growth? Everybody please revert. Yes, please. Stop chit-chatting and answer here and wake up. You don't have much time left. So pay attention. So internal growth, that is intussusception, is a defining property. Now, what will you say? What will you say? What do you think here? So beta, this is true. This is true. Internal growth, right? So that's what you need to understand here. So living beings show internal growth without any exception. Without any exception, internal growth is shown by all the living beings. If there is a living being, definitely that living being will grow. So if in the paper they are asking, growth is defining property, the answer is no. Growth is a characteristic feature, yes. Reproduction is a characteristic feature, yes, but they are not defining features. Why? Because defining features are those which are present in all the living beings without any exception, and they are not shared with the non-living beings. They are present in all the living beings without any exception, and they are not shared with the non-living beings. So growth is getting shared with the non-living beings. So living beings are like, we will not consider you as our defining property. So that's what we need to remember. So if I have used the word internal growth, that is intussusception, that is definitely a defining property, but simple growth is not the defining property. So this is the first thing, bacha, that you need to remember here. Now let's talk about the second part, that is reproduction. Right? So again, when you talk about the reproduction, it is not a defining property. Again, it is also not a defining property. But why is it so, ma'am? Why this is not a defining property? Right? Now, non-living beings, we are sure they do not reproduce. So why? So let's discuss that why, beta. Let's discuss that why. So, re means again, है ना? Production, obviously to produce. So if I have to say what reproduction is, can I not say that already existing individual already existing individuals giving birth to, forming new individuals. Yes or no? So that's what reproduction is. That's what reproduction is. Is that clear? That's what reproduction is. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, please. है ना बच्चा? So first of all, right? First of all, let's discuss that overall about the reproduction. Then we will see how come it is not the defining property. So you know that this is NCERT line, beta, as such NCERT line. So in unicellular organisms, what is the word that we have? Unicellular organism, growth and reproduction are synonyms. Do read the NCERT, you will find these words. Growth and reproduction are synonyms. What is the meaning of synonyms? Having same meaning. Two words, if they have same meaning, so we use the word synonym for that. So it means growth and reproduction, these two words have same meaning, right? And yes, we know that, right? So unicellular organism like your bacteria, algae, amoeba, whatever example you want to take. So these are the synonyms. So synonyms they are, right? Synonym means having same meaning. What is the meaning of word having same meaning? What's that, bacha? It means having same meaning. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes, please. So now, after that, so you talk about the reproduction. What do we discuss here? We have two things here. One is asexual reproduction and another one is sexual reproduction. I think you all are well aware of it. Asexual or sexual reproduction. So in asexual reproduction, bacha, no meiosis, no fertilization. I hope you remember. There is no gamete formation. There is no meiosis, that is no gamete formation, no fertilization is there. So here we know that in the sexual reproduction, gamete formation by meiosis will occur, right? Fertilization will occur, zygote will form. Right? So I hope you know this much. So when you talk about the asexual reproduction, there is no meiosis, no reductional division, no gamete formation. So no fertilization is there. Here you have the gamete formation, fertilization is also there. So in the asexual reproduction, you know that there will be no variations, right? Daughter cells are identical to parent cell. Variations are not there, because there will be no crossing over, no meiosis, no crossing over, so no variation. And here we know that variations are there, new combinations will be there, right? We know that there will be the crossing over, so that will result in variation. So that's what you need to understand here. Yes, please, that's what you need to understand here. Right, students? So there are few examples which are given in NCERT and which I believe we all should know. Just say asexual reproduction. This is given in NCERT, students, so please pay attention. So asexual reproduction, there are different ways of asexual reproduction. For an example, I'll give you a very common example. There's a parent cell is dividing into two daughter cells. Do you remember this? Binary fission. So daughter cells are identical to parent cell, right? There is no change, students. Daughter cells are identical to parent cell. There will be no change there. So what you need to know here, so when it comes to the asexual reproduction, so binary fission is there, but otherwise what do we have? Spore formation. There are some asexual spore formation that you see in algae and fungi. Asexual spore formation. Right, bacha? So by budding, where do we see the examples which are given in NCERT? They can ask you the question from that. So please pay attention, everybody. So budding, for budding, you have the example of Hydra, phylum Coelenterata. You have the example of yeast. What is yeast? Saccharomyces, unicellular fungi. So Hydra is what? It is multicellular animal. Hydra is what, beta? Hydra is multicellular animal, right? So phylum is Cnidaria. Done, students? So in Hydra also you will see a bud, and outgrowth will be there that will help in the formation of new individual. Same the example you people will see in the case of, yes beta Pramil, you will see in the case of, yes, yeast. Okay, okay, yes please. So next is, if I talk about by fragmentation, you know, na part of body will get separate, it can be lost or decay, whatever can be the reason, and then it will grow into a new individual. So in filamentous algae fungi, right, in filamentous algae comma fungi and protonema of mosses, I'm sure you all are aware of this thing, filamentous. Filamentous means thread-like algae. So a part of it, if it will get removed, that can grow into a new, right, new thallus. Okay, fungi, same story. Protonema of mosses. What are mosses? They are also the plants. Which plants? Bryophytes. Remember, in the bryophytes, you have liverworts and mosses. So in the case of bryophyte, we have the mosses. So when that mosses, they grow. So students, they have the spore, but that spore will form a kind of stage, protonema, that is greenish, branched, creeping structure, right? It is a kind of greenish algae-like structure. It's not algae, algae-like structure, protonema. So protonema is nothing. It is branched, greenish, creeping filamentous structure. So in that protonema also, in the case of mosses, if a part of it will get separated, it can grow into a new plant. So that is what you have to remember. Okay, so in plant kingdom also we will discuss the fragmentation. So now in the animals you also talk about regeneration. Remember regeneration. So lost part of the body. Yes everybody. Lost part of the body regrow. So re means again, generate, to grow, regenerate, right? So which example do we have here? Which example do we have here? So we have planaria. Remember planaria, also known as Digacia. It is having great power of regeneration. It's a flatworm, right? It is having a great power of regeneration. That lost body part, lost part will regrow. So that is what we have to remember. So again, it is in NCERT, beta. Again, it is in NCERT. So that is why we are picking that up and we are revising it. So I hope this part is clear. So in regeneration, lost part of the body is repaired, bacha. Just a lizard, starfish, they are going to show you that. Am I right? They are going to show you that. Any doubt? Any doubt? So these are the things which are given in NCERT. So that's why, bacha, we are discussing that, right? I hope you are clear with it. Now, not all living beings reproduce. That's what you need to understand. Not all living beings reproduce. That's why reproduction, because that is the actual topic, but in NCERT that examples are given, so I thought let's discuss that too. So that's why reproduction is not a defining property. What are you talking, ma'am? How is it possible? It is possible, bacha. It is possible. You imagine what we just said, that defining properties are those which are present in all the living beings without any exception. Now, in the case of in the case of some living organisms, they do not reproduce. Some they do not, they cannot. So we cannot say that if you are not reproducing, you are non-living. Here you are not living. That's not something now which is that's not possible. If some organism, yeah, if organisms are not capable to reproduce, we cannot say that ki, "Arey yaar, you are not even living." They will still be living. So that's why reproduction is not the defining property. Done. So for an example, sterile worker bees, in the case of honey bees, right? You have mule, which is a hybrid, beta. Infertile human couples are also there, right? Any reason can be there, but these are the examples. So there are many other examples, but yeah, these are the one which are given in your NCERT. Right, beta? These are the one which are giving in your NCERT. So they all are sterile, right? They can't reproduce. They can't reproduce. So sterile is the word. Okay, so now I'll give you the example. जैसे बेटा female horse, yes please, female horse, that is mare, and male donkey. Actually, how do we get this mule? Beta, mule, it's the hybrid of horse and donkey. It's the hybrid of horse and donkey. In the hilly areas, in the mountain areas, basically mules are preferred for loading loading the stuff, for transporting the stuff. So female horse and male donkey, they form mule. But when there is the male horse, yes, that combination, right? Obviously, in nature, it is not occurring because they are two different species. So, yes, that can be done in lab. So, when there is the male horse and female donkey, then what do you call it? Hinny. So, that they are also hybrids. They don't reproduce. And now, when you take the example of male tiger, right? Male tiger and female lion. Male tiger, female lion, the result will be tiger. And when there is male lion or female tiger, no, my bad. No, this is right. So this will be liger. So they all are the example of, and there are many sterile organisms. Is that clear? They all are the example of sterile organism. Is that clear? Is that clear, bacha? So they all are what? They all are the example of sterile organism. So I hope this part is crystal clear to everybody present here. Right? Any doubts? Hello, wake up. Any doubts? Sure. Now the next property that we have is metabolism. Metabolism, just now we discussed. And before metabolism, let's talk about the cellular organization. Yes. I think I have no need to explain you that. You all are well aware, right? Cellular organization, it is definitely the defining property. It is definitely the defining property. How come? How come is it possible? It's simple. Anything, this line is from chapter number 8, right? Chapter number 8, cell, NCERT. So anything less than a cell does not ensure independent existence. I hope this part is clear. Like if I am saying something as living, I have to have that, I need that basic structure which we call as cell, because cell will have protoplasm. Cell is having that living content. Cell is having the cytoplasm where chemical reactions will occur. Cell is having the genetic material, right, which is the storehouse of all the information. So if I have to say something is living, so I have to, right, if I have to say something is living, I will consider the cellular organization. It is the defining property. So anything less than a complete structure of cell, yeah, anything less than a cell does not ensure independent existence. So we know that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Am I clear? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Your mitochondria cannot be like this. Today I am not in the mood, I have fight with the cell, I live alone. Not at all. No chance. Right, beta? No chance. So that's what you need to understand. So cellular organization, definitely a defining property. So let's start the next part, everybody. Hello, pay attention. Let's start the next part, that is metabolism. So metabolism is for sure a defining property. For sure a defining property. Beta, being living and metabolically active, these are synonyms. If you are living, reactions will be there. If there is a single cell, whether it is dividing or not, but if it is living, it will show the chemical reactions. We cannot survive without that. You take the example, you eat something, right, beta? The complex food, it will break into the simpler particles, digestion, but ultimately the reactions are going on. Then that food will further it will get converted into the monomers, beta, that cells are going to absorb. So all that things are chemical reactions. So we get the glucose, right? So glucose will further break, it will oxidize in multiple steps by using enzymes. Then ATP will be formed from that. That is the energy currency. So that's how things work. That's how the system works. So this is what you need to understand. Okay, this is what you need to understand. So when it comes to the metabolism, it is these are the chemical reactions which are going on in our body, right? So it is definitely a defining property, because all living being, without any exception, they possess metabolism, they have metabolism, and moreover, no non-living being will show the metabolism. Is that clear? Is that clear? So what am I going to write here, bacha? Sum total of all the chemical reactions. Everybody please pay attention. Sum total of all the chemical reactions in a living body is called metabolism. I hope I'm clear here. So sum total of all the chemical reactions in a living body is known as what, beta? It is known as metabolism. I hope you are clear with that, right? Yes? Sure? Okay, so all living beings, you can talk about a single celled organism, multicellular organism, prokaryotic organism, eukaryotic organism. Ultimately, this thing will be there. So all living organisms, without any exception, right? All living organisms without any exception show metabolism. All living organisms without any exception show metabolism. Is that clear? Is that clear, beta? Sure, sure. So once again, let's discuss that. So when you talk about the metabolism, I told you it is having two words. One is anabolism, another word is catabolism. So cata, cut, katna, todna, breakdown it is. What's that? Breakdown. So building up anabolism, something is forming. Catabolism is beta breakdown. Catabolism is breakdown. So if I have to give you an example, I'll give you the example of photosynthesis. So you know that here in photosynthesis, glucose forms, right? Carbon dioxide and water, they join, glucose form. So it is anabolism. Yes or no? वैसे तो बेटा respiration overall is amphibolic, right? That in which breakdown, build up, both are there. But in general, if I have to give you the example, I'll give you the example of glucose. So breakdown of glucose, what sort of reaction it will be? Catabolic reaction, right? Breakdown of glucose, what sort of reaction it will be? It will be catabolic reaction. So this is the terminology that you people need to know, and this is what you need to understand. Any doubts? Yes? Yes? Guys, any doubt? Sure? So so anabolism make complex things will form from simpler substances. Complex things form from simpler substances. Simple things, they'll result in the formation of complex things. So obviously ATP is used here. Here beta, there is the breakdown of complex thing into the simpler forms, ATP, right? So here ATP is required, here energy will release. So this is what we have. Am I clear? Right? So this is the anabolism and the catabolism, sum total. So both type of chemical reactions are going on in our body, right beta? Right? So this is what metabolism is. Okay? Done, bache? Okay. So many of the metabolic reactions which are there in our body, that can be demonstrated in a cell-free system in the lab. Now I'll give you a few examples, right? We'll write the points later, but first we have to understand that. So please pay attention. For an example, if a reaction is going on in my body, right? The reaction is going on inside my body, inside the cell. It is something self-driven. You are not telling your stomach, ki, oh my God, my dear stomach, right, today I ate a lot of things, you please digest that, and you are guiding them. No, they know that this is their job, they will do it. Right? Right, that is their job. They will do it. Right, beta? Now, the reactions which are going on inside our body, inside our cells, beta, they can be demonstrated outside the body in a cell-free system. When I'm using this particular term, that we can demonstrate them outside the body, that too in a cell-free system. Like, no doubt in our body they are self-driven. Okay, cells are there, enzymes are there, reactions are going on. We can do the same reaction outside the body in the lab, that too in a test tube. That is possible, that is feasible, right? So it's not. So this is the first thing that you have to understand, right? Second thing is that if any living reaction, if any reaction which is taking place in our body, if we are doing that in outside the body in the lab, then you will not say that it is a living, like you will not say that that lab, that test tube, that petri dish will become a living body. Just for an example, you know the IVF, in vitro fertilization, right? The gametes from the partners will be taken and then they'll be fertilized in the sterile environment, right? In the controlled condition, that will be done. We know it very well. The gamete fusion will be there. The fertilization outside the body is going on. So it doesn't mean that outside the body, if let's suppose this is a petri dish in which you are doing this process, so petri dish will become living. No, not like that. Not like that. So yes, it is a fact. Reactions which are going on in our body, they can be demonstrated outside the body in a cell-free system. That is in a test tube. We can do that. We can perform them. We can conduct that. That's true. But then you will not say that that particular structure, that particular test tube has become a living structure, living body. No, that's not the terminology that you will use. You can say living reaction is going on. Right? You can say living reaction is going on, but you will not say the structure is a living structure. You can say living reaction is going on, but you cannot say that a living structure has formed. No, not at all. And you will not even consider it as living or nor non-living. So this is a line from your Holy Book NCERT. So let me mark that here so that you understand that in a better way. Just allow me one thing. Just see. Okay. Look at this part. Another characteristic of life is metabolism. All living organisms are made up of chemicals, small, big, whatever it is. Now, they constantly made and change into some other biomolecules. They constantly being made and changed into some other biomolecules. So these conversions are chemical reactions or metabolic reactions. What these conversions are? They are chemical reactions or metabolic reactions. Yes or no? Now, there are thousands of metabolic reactions, beta, occurring simultaneously in our body. Right, beta? Be it a unicellular organism, be it a multicellular organism, chemical reactions will be there for sure. Now, all plants, right, we will write them. All plants, animal, fungi and microbes, they exhibit metabolism. So, sum total of all the living reactions is metabolism. So, no non-living object exhibit metabolism. So, all living reactions, all living beings, they will show the metabolism, but not the non-living beings. So, metabolic reactions, we can demonstrate them outside the body in a cell-free system, and these isolated metabolic reactions, they are performed in test tube, is neither living nor non-living. So, please, again, please try to understand that. What are they saying? Metabolic reactions can be demonstrated outside the body in a cell-free system. Like outside the body, in vitro, in the lab, we can do that. We can perform that in the test tubes, right? But outside the body of an organism, when we perform them in a test tube, we are neither going to call them living nor non-living. So it is neither living nor non-living. Neither living nor non-living. Is that clear? Neither living nor non-living. Is that clear? Sure, beta? Sure, bache? So, see, sum total of all the chemical reactions in a living body is metabolism. All living organisms without any exception. All living organism means be it a unicellular, multicellular, plant, microbe, animal, fungi, whatsoever it is, they will show metabolism. Now, the next part is, yes, beta. So, the living reactions, they can be, yes, so let's write that particular part. Let's write that particular part. Okay, so many of the living reactions, living या फिर chemical reactions या metabolic reaction. So many of the chemical या फिर metabolic reactions that are occurring in our body can be demonstrated outside the body in a cell-free system, So these reactions you can say you are performing them in a test tube or petri dish, whatever it is. Test tube can neither living nor non-living. So beta, what are we trying to say here? Yeah, what are we trying to understand here? So we are saying a very simple thing. These isolated metabolic reactions, right, which are performed in a test tube outside the body, beta, in vitro, they are neither living nor living, right? So the reactions performed in a test tube outside living body can neither be or are neither living nor non-living. So you will not put them in at any category. You are not using any word for them that you are living or non-living because you are performing them in the test tube. So your test tube will not be a living structure. No, right? So these isolated reactions, you cannot call them as you cannot call it as the living being. So these isolated reactions cannot be considered as or regarded as, can't be regarded as living things, but they are definitely the living reaction. Okay, bacha. So these isolated metabolic reactions can't be regarded as living beings, living things or living beings, but hey students, I hope I'm perfectly audible and visible. Some technical glitch was there, but I hope I'm perfectly audible, visible to all of you. Am I? Yes. Yes, please. Yes, I hope I am perfectly audible, visible. Okay, that's great. So beta, what are we trying to say here? It's a very simple thing, simple phenomena that chemical reactions are going on in our body. We can perform them outside the living body. In the lab, we can do that. In a test tube, we can perform them. In a petri dish, we can perform that. But we are not going to specify it that structure will become living nor, we won't say it is neither living nor non-living. It is neither living nor non-living, number one. Number two, you can simply refer them as living reactions. Just for an example, in a test tube, I'm performing a reaction which is also taking place in my body. So I can say that this reaction is a living reaction, but as a whole, I will not refer it as a living or non-living structure. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, beta. Okay, so this is about the metabolism. All the living beings, they will show the metabolism. So it is something very important. So being living and metabolically active, these two things are again synonyms. If something is living, right, the chemical reactions will be there. So without any exception, you know that all living beings have that, right beta, right beta. So that is why it's a defining property. That is why it is a defining property. So that's what you need to remember here, right? That's what you need to remember here. So all living beings, right? All living organisms without any exception show metabolism. So it is a defining property, right beta? So it is a defining property, right beta? So that's what you need to remember. Chaliye, next property that we have to discuss here is consciousness. Okay, a very important property, consciousness, right? या फिर response to external stimuli. So consciousness is the next thing that we have to discuss, and definitely it is a defining property. Bacha, you take the example of any living being, right? You take the example of any living being, be it a unicellular organism, be it a multicellular organism. So you can take the example of any of the living being, right? Unicellular, multicellular, plant, fungi, whatsoever it is, they always respond to their surrounding. Even if there is a unicellular organism, beta, right, to the pH change, to the temperature change, they will respond, right? Plants, you know that light period is having very important role when it comes to their reproduction as well, right? Even they respond to pollutants also. You take the example of animals, right? The seasonal breeders are there. So somewhere all these external things, our body, it reverts. Are you getting my point? So consciousness, it is the most obvious and technically most complicated feature of the living being. So take any example, uni, multi, whatever it is, what will be there? The response to external stimuli will definitely be there. Are you getting my point? It will definitely be there. Are you getting my point? So most obvious and technically complicated feature. So it is what? It is the most obvious and technically complicated feature of living beings, right? Most obvious beta. Be it a prokaryote, be it a eukaryote, everybody will respond, right? So what is this consciousness? So ability to, make sure you write the notes and please wake up. First of all, please wake up. So ability to sense their surrounding environment. Say we can also sense our surrounding now. When you realize कि ma'am is not in the good mood, you are not going to spam in the chat, है ना? Then you will realize कि नहीं, she is not in the good mood. We are not allowed to spam, otherwise she will shout. So you can also sense the thing. We can also sense the mood, isn't it? Yes, please. Yes, please. So let's have a discussion. So they are saying ability to sense the surrounding, their surrounding. Mane living beings, they will sense their surrounding environment and respond to these environmental stimuli is basically what? It is the consciousness. So all organisms from prokaryotes to complex eukaryotes, they show consciousness to the environmental cues. So all organisms, beta, all organisms, imagine from prokaryotes, you are talking about the prokaryotes, the bacterial cells. So all organisms from prokaryotes to complex eukaryotes, mane even if you are talking about, let's suppose, advanced eukaryotic cell, multicellular organism, whatever it is. So all organisms from prokaryote to eukaryote, they respond to environmental cues, right? We all, be it a unicellular organism or it is a multicellular organism, they all are going to respond. Is that clear? Is that clear? Just for an example, bacha, plants, they perform, plants show flowering in a particular season, they need a particular light or dark period. So you remember photo, right? So photoperiodism, we see that in the case of plants. So plants, they perform flowering in a particular season, beta. Photoperiodism is there. Some animals also perform breeding in a particular season only. Is that clear? Is that clear? So what's that? It is the photo means light. So photoperiodism, a very important phenomena. I hope you know that short day plants, long day plants. Are you aware of it? Short day plants, long day plants, right? Some plants, they need more light period, less dark period. Some plants, they need less light period, more dark period, right? Some plants, in their case, their light period is so important. If there will be a darkness in that, they will not be able to do or show flowering. So light is very important, and not just in the case of plants, beta. In case of, right? In case of some animals, you know that, are seasonal breeders. Are seasonal breeders. Yes, they reproduce in a particular season only. So these are the example. And better take our example. We have a biological clock. We have the circadian rhythms. So if we will have too much exposure to light, we'll use our screen time is more. So you know that we find it difficult to sleep. Our sleep cycle, it gets disturbed, right? If you travel in a different time zone also, then again adjustment issues are there, right? The circadian rhythms, they get disturbed. So yes, we also respond to that. So we cannot, right, say that we like all the living bodies, be it a unicellular organism, multicellular organism, right? You can talk about any chordata, you can talk about any bacteria, they all respond to the stimulus, right? And we humans, beta, we are too aware. We are not just aware of our surrounding, we also show self-awareness, right? Self-awareness. Are you getting my point? Self-consciousness we have. We know what are we doing, right? We know we are not feeling good. We know we are lying. So we have that emotion too. Okay, so humans, in the case of humans, because we have highly developed nervous system, beta, so we are also self-aware. So this is what you need to know. So high level of consciousness is found in our case because we have well-developed nervous system and we have supreme level of communication skills, isn't it? So can I not say that in humans, yes, beta, what do we have in humans, right? High level of consciousness is found. High level of consciousness is found because we have, because of our well developed, or I would say highly developed nervous system. And great communication skills. Done, beta? So in humans, high level of consciousness is found because of our highly developed nervous system and great communication skills. So we humans show self-consciousness. You will not see it in any other living being. So we have, right, self-consciousness as well, right? What do we have? We have self-consciousness as well. Are you getting my point? Which cannot be seen elsewhere. Done, beta? Right, beta? Yes, please. So humans can respond towards external stimuli, but we can also predict the possible changes of the surrounding and we can prepare accordingly. So that's what you need to understand here. So self-consciousness, so can't be seen anywhere else. Am I clear? Can't be seen anywhere else. So self-consciousness is there. Are you getting my point? Self-consciousness is there. Is that clear? Done, beta? So that's what you have to remember. Is that clear? Right? So humans can respond to external stimuli very quickly, and can also predict. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So humans can respond to external stimuli very quickly and can also predict possible changes in surrounding and can prepare accordingly. And can prepare accordingly. So we are self-aware. No, we have self-consciousness, but it is not mandatory that it will make us self-aware. So there is a difference, right? There is a difference. Yes or no? So there is a difference. Got it? Done, beta? Sure? Any doubt? Any doubt? So this is all about the defining properties. One more thing I would like to discuss is the, right beta? So another thing that we are going to discuss is what? We'll talk about the brain dead comma patient, right? Done beta? So yes, I know this is it is a very commonly or frequently asked question. What about comma patients, ma'am? How will you define it in their case? So I will tell you, just here also, you can see, right? All organisms from the prokaryotes to eukaryotes, right? They can sense and respond. Photoperiod also affect reproduction, is seasonal breeder, both plants and animals, right? All organisms handle chemicals entering their bodies. They are aware of their surrounding, right? So human being, we are showing the self-consciousness, right beta? So consciousness, it is present in all the living beings. So definitely, bacha, this is a very important property. Now, they are saying that when it comes to the human, it's all the more difficult to define the living state. Just say, for an example, beta, if I talk about a brain dead comma patient, if I talk about a brain dead comma patient, what is there? Brain dead comma patient, right? So they are here, what is there? The basically machines they have replaced, right? So they are supported by machines. That patient is supported by machine, right? So patient is brain dead. So here, right, no self-consciousness is there. No self-consciousness, but beta, consciousness is still there. Self-consciousness is definitely not there. So it's tough to define it in the case of human beings, right? So even if there is a brain dead comma patient, that patient is conscious, right? That patient is conscious, but that patient, right, the body is responding to the chemicals, the body is responding to the drugs, right? But that patient is not self-conscious. Is that clear? That patient is not self-conscious because it has lost coordination of organs of different body parts. Because patient has lost coordination. Am I clear? Because patient has lost coordination, right? Coordination of organs of different body parts. Done, bacha? So here it's tough to define the state, but overall, right, no doubt machines are supporting that, bache. Machines are supporting that, but still we cannot say, right? Still we cannot say that patient, we cannot, like, it will be unethical to say that patient is a non-living being. Yeah, that patient is dead, because ultimately body is responding to that chemicals which we are providing, isn't it? Yes or no? Done, beta? So that's what you need to remember, okay? So in higher classes, we will also study this part. Do you have to, or you should focus that living phenomena are due to the underlying interactions, right? Just say tissues, the property of tissues are not present in the cells, but they arise at a result of interaction among the constituent cells. So this is what, right? This is what we need to remember, okay, bacha? This is what we need to remember. Is that clear? Right? So all living phenomena are due to underlying interactions. So if you see the function of a particular tissue, right, that will not be seen in the cell, but cells, all the cells, they are interacting, and then that tissue is performing a particular function. So all living phenomena are the result of underlying interactions. Done, bicha? Done. So do write it. Quick. Do write it. Yes, please. Do write it. Done. Sure. जैसे for an example, how can I explain this to you? Right? जैसे for an example, beta, different biomolecules, they are making these different structures. So all that biomolecules, bache, they are making organelles. Right? That organelles together are making a particular cell. Yes or no? That cell will make tissue, tissue will make organ. And organ will make organ system. And then there is an organism. Then there is an organism. So this is all the result of interactions, right? All the interactions are going on. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes, please. Any doubts? Done. So living organisms, can I say self-replicating, evolving? Yes. Living organisms are what? Self-replicating, comma, evolving, comma, replicating, self-regulating. Yes or no? Can we say that if something is living, that will be self-replicating, that will be self-evolving, that will be self-regulating, interactive system capable of responding to interactive system, capable of responding to external stimuli. So as a whole, this is what a living body is. Done, beta? Yes or no? Done, beta? Sure. So any doubt? Any doubt? Yes, please. Any doubt? Hello. Done. Chali, let's move to the next part. So this is what we have in the NCRT, right? So in the NCRT, let's have the NCRT reading and then let's start the next part of diversity, which is even there in the new NCRT. Right, beta? So if we talk about the NCRT, let's see, focus here. Ecological conflict and cooperation among members of population and populations of a community, or even the molecular traffic inside a cell, make us a deeply reflected on what indeed is life in simple words, right? Again, it is all about interaction. Biomolecules, chemicals, they are forming protoplasm, that are forming cell, cell is forming tissue, organ system, organism. Now, organism of same species which are living in a particular area, they will make beta population. Different populations, we cannot live alone, we need plants, we need microbes, all of that together, they are making communities. Then communities, different communities, surrounding environment, their interaction, everything, that is making ecosystem, right? We have biome, we have biosphere. So it is all about the interaction. You start from this level, you go to this level, what you people will see interaction. So overall it is interaction, right? Now when you are talking about being living, just in living, non-living, this is what we have to differentiate. So now they are saying when you try to define living, right, you talk about certain characteristic features, just a growth, reproduction, ability to sense environment, then to give a response. Right, beta. So metabolism, ability to self-replicate, self-organize, interact, all of that things are there. So all living beings, they grow. So this particular line which is given in this NCRT part is a repeated Question beta. So increase in mass and increase in number of individuals in a cell, they are the twin characteristics of growth. Right? What's that, bacha? This is the twin characteristics of growth. So that's a PYQ. Next topic, a multicellular organisms grow by cell division. Right? So all, whatever beta we have covered, all that things are given in the NCERT, right? All that things are given in the NCERT. You can read it later. You will get the telegram. You can find these notes in my personal telegram group, Love Biology by Ambika. So you can join that. I will share these telegram notes there. Is that clear? Is that clear? So here you people can see, ye dekho, properties of cellular organelles are not present in the molecular constituent of organelle. So here in the last part, they are just trying to explain the interactions, right? They say, if I talk about the cell organelles, if I see a cell organelle is performing a particular function, I will not see that in the molecular constituent of that. It's like all the molecular constituents together they are giving us what? They are giving us the cellular organelle and their function. For an example, you talk about better tea leaves. If you eat tea leaves separately, they have a different taste. If you eat sugar separately, different taste. Milk separately, different taste. But now when you put them all together, you are having a different taste. Then you get that tea. You are having a different taste. You are getting that tea. So that tea that we drink, that is basically, right, the tea that we prepare, that is also the result of interaction, right? That proper, that proper boiling time, proper ingredients, everything, then you will get a different taste. So all of that, what is it? It is all the interactions, right, beta? It is all the interaction. That is what we have to remember. So biology, it is the story of evolution of living organisms. All living organisms, present, past, future, linked to one another because we all share the common genetic material. But yeah, degree of that can vary. Am I clear? The degree of that can vary. So let's start the next part, students. That is diversity in the living world. Okay. Diversity in the living world. So this portion is also given in the new NCERT, right? But that earlier part is also important. Do not miss that. Do keep it in your mind, okay? Chali. Beta diversity, variety. You look around. You are human being, sometimes behave like monkeys, but still human being, belong to class Mammalia, right? We, in our surrounding, we can find the lizards, mosquitoes, flies, spiders, rats, cats, all these are what? They are the different organisms. They are the different organisms. So you look around, right? When you look around, you find different organisms, you find different organism, different plants, all that things are there. Even plants, they vary. So when it comes to the diversity, you are talking about that variety, beta. You are talking about that variety. Yes or no? What are you talking? You are talking about that variety. So every different kind of organism that we see, they represent a species, right? Every different organism that we see, represent a species. This, if I talk about species, we'll discuss it separately, right? John Ray gave that term, right? The organisms which can interbreed, which can give birth to the fertile organism, that is what we see. So, and we have known and described. So remember, we have known and described 1.7 to 1.8 million species. Beta, I am not talking about the organisms here. I am talking about the species here. Just say, for an example, we are Homo sapiens sapiens. So we are human beings. So we are a species. And see the number of individuals in species. In India itself, they are in, right? So many individuals are there. So that's what you need to remember. Okay, that's what you need to remember. So we have known and described 1.7 to 1.8 million species. Now, you are only talking about here. We are only talking about, there are two things which you have to remember. Here, we are only talking about eukaryotic species, means eukaryotic species, the one which are having eukaryotic cells, but not prokaryotes. Why, beta? Because when you talk about the prokaryotes, which include bacteria, beta, they are so, right, at molecular level, they are so diverse. We are not well equipped that we can grow all the prokaryotes, yeah, all the bacteria. And plus, if we will try to, categorize them, differentiate them, so data will be too much because they are so diverse at molecular level. So diverse. You can take the example also, right? You can also take the example. Just say in Griffith experiment in class 12th, we discussed now streptococcus, which causes pneumonia. We talk about the two strains of that particular bacteria itself. So you can see the differences in them. So here you are only talking about the eukaryotic species. You are not considering the prokaryotes. We are not well equipped that we can grow them and we can maintain that data. And moreover, in class 12th, biodiversity NCRT, this number which here they have given as 1.7 to 1.8, in biodiversity they have mentioned more than 1.5 million species. So do not get confused if more than 1.5 million species is written or 1.7 to 1.8 million species if it is written. Do not get confused. Why, beta? Because ultimately more than 1.5 million means 1.5 million means 15 lakhs. So more than 15 lakhs man is somewhere in between 17 to 18 lakhs. That's how you can remember. Okay. That is how you can remember. Okay. So do keep it in your mind. Done, beta? Do keep it in your mind. So each of these species, bache, right, they are known by their local name, vernacular name, which vary from place to place. So these are the number of diversity. This is about the diversity, and you can see these, the organism of these species. These species have different local names. Which are called vernacular names. Done? So the organism of these species have different local names which are called vernacular names. So they vary from place to place, right? So this is the term, vernacular name, vary from place to place. Just for an example, beta, if I give you the example of onion, है ना, onion, जैसे in Hindi we call it as, this is onion. In Hindi we call it pyaz. Somewhere it is known as kanda, ganda, right? Gand. Different names are there. That is the same onion, but having the different names. So these names are the local names, right? We can call them as vernacular name. So when I'm saying onion, I'm talking about the English name. When I'm saying just in my area, you are calling it as onion, just pyaz, okay, kanda, pyaz, ganda. Different names are there, right? So that are the local names. So there are, that there are certain things which in one area they have different name, in another area it is having different name. Best example, golgappe. You can take the example of golgappe. Somebody call it golgappe, pani puri, puchka. So many names are there, but that's the same thing. That is the same thing. So that is what we are discussing. That is basically the vernacular names. Golgappe. So vernacular names. Are you getting my point? So these are the vernacular names. Okay, students, and it's tough to recognize something with the help of vernacular names. So it's required to have such names which are common throughout the world. Now, I know, some of you will be like, ma'am, why can't we keep the English names, right? Why do we talk about the binomial nomenclature? Why do we talk about these names, these scientific names which are in Latin language? Why can't we just focus on English? So, beta, right? So beta, it is simple. It is simple. What is that? That if we talk about India, in India itself we are fighting for the language. In southern part of the country, in the different states, they are like, my language is important, my language is important, my language is important. So there is no chance. So if you think that all over the world people know English, that is also not true, right? Majority may they know, but overall it is not true. So scientifically when we see something, so we will go for the proper nomenclature. So that's what we need to understand here, right? So now we will talk about taxonomy, systematics, nomenclature. The second part or third part of this chapter, second is this diversity. This is done and dusted. So this is what we need to remember, right, beta? This is what we need to remember. So here you can see, right, so they are just talking about this number. So I'm mentioning you can write down here that this is only for the eukaryotes, number 1. And in class 12th biodiversity chapter, for the same data they are using more than 1.5 million. More than 1.5 million. Is that clear? Is that clear? So that is what you need to remember. So that is why they are saying ki so many different names are there which vary from place to place. So there is a need to standardize the naming of living organism such that a particular organism is known by same name all over the world. So that's what we have to understand. Done? Any doubts? So it's important, and do write the notes beta. So it's important to standardize so that they have same name throughout the world. That's what we have to discuss next. Understood, bacha? So now this part is going to be very, 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 very easy as well as interesting. Okay? Okay. Ready? So let's talk about the Hanji beta. Let's talk about the taxonomy. I think you don't need a break. We just need 1 hour more and the chapter will be done and dusted. Ready? Chaliye, let's start. Just 1 minute, guys. Then let's start. Chaliye. So taxonomy is the next part that we need to understand. Okay. Taxonomy. So beta taxus mane arrangement. Everyone please pay attention. Hello, hello, good morning, wake up. So guys, what are we going to discuss now? Arey, what will you do with the break? Just 1 hour. है ना? अच्छा, PW NEET English is saying need break, guys. Yes or no? No, no. Right? This time you are not going to get any democracy here or any voting system here. The answer is no. You will not get. Right? You will not get any break. Let's spend 1 more hour and let's finish it. Okay? Chaliye, let's discuss that. So taxonomy is the thing that we need to understand. So when we talk about the taxonomy, taxus means arrangement. Taxus means arrangement. Normus means by law. So, right, do pay attention here. So normus means law. So this word is proposed by. So this word is proposed by A.P.D. Kendall. So beta, it is A.P.D. Kendall. It is not A.P. Dhillon. Do not confuse it with that Punjabi singer A.P. Dhillon. It is A.P.D. Kendall. That's what you need to remember. He was the one who gave this particular term. Now, what is taxonomy? Let me write it first, then I will explain it. So taxonomy is definitely a branch of science. That's branch of biology, to be more precise. That's why we are reading it here. Otherwise, beta, there is no need. So branch of biology that deals with, right, identification, nomenclature and classification of organisms. So branch of biology that deals with identification, comma, classification and nomenclature of organism. या फिर first there is nomenclature, then classification. Identification, comma, nomenclature, comma, classification of an organism. Is that clear? Is called taxonomy. See beta, Systematic arrangement overall is very important. Say for an example, if your Almira is not proper, it will take time to find out things, right? Don't be like, nay ma'am, my Almira is not at all properly well arranged, but still I'm able to find my stuff. Then you are a very good human being, but otherwise it is not possible. Imagine you're going to a library. In that library, there is no demarcation that it is a science section, social study section, commerce section. No demarcation is there, right? All the books are here and there. So it will take time, right? Don't you think so? So it is going to take time. It will take a lot of time, I would say, to find your book, particular book, your respective section that you want. Now imagine in the library you people go, you know that this is this section, that section, you go there, you check out the books and you can start reading. So that is why systematic arrangement is overall very important. Any sort of systematic arrangement is very important and it should be there. So when I'm talking about the taxonomy, when I'm talking about what? When I'm talking about the taxonomy, so taxes mane arrangement, norms mane law, right? So it is the word which is proposed by A.P. Deakin-Dore. So it is the branch of biology, that deals with identification, nomenclature, classification of an organism. Right? So you have to identify an organism. Just imagine yourself as a taxonomist. You are there in Amazon rainforest. You found an organism there. As per the data available to you, you are like, this is something new. First of all, you will look at that organism. You are going to write down the characters of that organism. You will study that organism. What type of characters are there? The color, the shape, right? The external character, internal character. After that, you will obviously match it with the data available to you. Then you will be like, oh, this organism is showing characters like an arthropod or maybe like an annelid, whatever it is. So accordingly, you will classify them. Accordingly, you will give them the name. So that's what we need to understand. This is what taxonomy is, right? This is what taxonomy is. That is what you need to know. Is that clear? So when it comes to the identification, what is identification? Right? Just say, let's suppose. So identification. Okay, chaliye. So first of all, I'll start with the basic funda. Just let's suppose I will use the word characterization. Then I will write the technical terms, but characterization. So I'll write few words here. Identification, classification, nomenclature. Nomenclature means to give name. And I told you that it is important to standardize the thing. Right? It is important to standardize the thing. Are you getting my point? Hello. Good morning. Wake up. Good morning. Wake up. So systematic arrangement is very important. So beta, if I have to talk about characterization, what will I say? What arrangement does it have? What arrangement does it have? Yeah, what characters does it have? What sort of characters are there? You will look at it, right? Rather than arrangement, the word should be features or the characters. Right? When I'm saying characterization, so what features does it have? Just say for an example, I'll give you the example. You are trying to buy a phone. You will see, acha, this phone is having that much storage. The camera quality is this and that. That is what we have. That is what we have. So characterization in general things, in basic way. First, let's understand it. Then we will discuss that in detail. So up to this part, I believe everything is crystal clear to all of you. So the very first thing is characterization. Characterization, that is what feature does it have? Features, right? Now, I gave you the example of buying a phone. Then I'm telling you, okay, you are trying to buy a phone. You will see the features. But let's suppose you don't know anything. You're looking at a thing, a new structure. Then you are like, what type of features does it have, right? Now, next part is, what is it? As per the features, because features, with the help of these characterization, you will make a description that in this particular structure, these are the characters that I can find. You can say jointed legs are there, right? The cephalothorax is present, whatever it is, as per your observation, you are going to write down that characters. Then you will try to identify that, yes or no? Yes or no? So after that, where does it belong? Next thing will be, where does it belong? This is the meaning of classification. So in simple terms, firstly, I'm explaining what features does it have? What is it? Where does it belong? Where does it belong? Like if you are figuring out the, right, if you are figuring out the characters. So, yes. So first of all, characterization means you will prepare a description that what features does it contain. Then As per the features written, you will try to identify that is it a plant, animal, if it is an animal, to which phylum it belongs, characters like that. Then beta you will talk about the classification. Where does it belong? Acha, theek hai. If let's suppose if it is an arthropoda, the characters are showing more similarities with the arthropoda, you will put it there. Then finally you will give it the name. Now what should I call? Right. So this is what you have in the taxonomy. Right. This is what you have in the taxonomy. So if I have to define it, what will I say? So identification is, can I say that? First I will start with the characterization. Yes. Chaliye, so let's write these terms and let's understand that. So the very first thing that you need to understand is characterization. So although you know that in a simple language, you know it very well, but let's write it here. So when it comes to the characterization, so what will you say? So characters of organisms, right? Characters of an organism are necessary to be used, yes or no? So characters of an organism are necessary to be used. So use of character for description. So use of characters for description, like you are using these features, these characters for description, right? You are making a description out of that. So you are calling it as characterization. You are doing characterization of that. You're writing features of that particular organism, right? You are writing features of that particular organism. Am I clear, beta? Then comes the identification. Yes, please. Next is what? Next is identification. So obviously, in general, you know the meaning. Then again, in detail, let's discuss that. So it's a process by which organism is recognized from the other already known organism. So a process by which an organism, right, is known from the, is recognized from the already, from the recognized from the already, from the other already known organism. Yes, please. Organism. Am I clear, bacha? Please do let me know. So this identification part is clear. Then comes the nomenclature, naming of organism according to international scientific rules. ठीक है जी? What's the nomenclature? Naming of organisms. Naming of organism as per scientific rules or international naming rules, scientific international naming rules, right beta? International scientific naming rules. Am I clear? Sure, bache? Sure. Then comes the classification. Then comes the classification. So a process by which an organism is placed in a convenient category. Beta, please pay attention. Hello, wake up. So a process by which an organism, right? What is the point here, beta? So a process by which an organism is placed, right, in a convenient category on the basis of some, right? On the basis of what? So on the basis of some easily observable characters. On the basis of some easily observable characters. So this is the meaning of all the terms here. So I am teaching you, right? I'm teaching you like or the way I teach class 11 students, assuming that you don't know anything. So I hope this part is clear, right? So whenever we will be having the, quick one shot, where I'm shocked because it is the backlog series. So I believe you don't know anything. So when we will be having the revision session, so this part we pass very quickly. This is characterization, this is identification, classification, or nomenclature. But in your case, I'm assuming that you don't know anything. Anything means anything, right? So that's how I am teaching this. Okay, yes. Ready, bacha? So let's start the next part. Then we will talk about the binomial nomenclature. So what is the next part that we have to, so overall, let me tell you, father of taxonomy. Yes, obviously we need to remember that. That is Carolus Linnaeus. So in some books, beta, you also write it as Carl Linnaeus. In some literature, it is also given as Carolus Linnaeus. Just in NCERT, these are the spellings. And you also see the spellings as Carlous, right? So do not get confused. Okay, do not get confused. So chaliye, next part that we need to understand is systematics. Some people use the term systematics and taxonomy as interchangeably, but bache, there is a difference. So what is that difference? The difference is of phylogenetic relationship. In systematics, you also consider the evolutionary relationship. So beta, when we have an idea of the evolutionary relationship, then we can explain the things in a better way. So systematics mein, the term was given by, everyone please pay attention, Carl Linnaeus, right? So this particular word, so systematics comes from a systematic. So that's the word that we have, yes or no? What is the word that we have here, beta? The word is systematic. So systematic word, it comes from a Latin word systema, which means proper arrangement, systematic arrangement. We use this word, right? We use this word every now and then. So word systematics, beta, it is from a Latin word systema, right? It is from a Latin word that is systema. Are you getting my point? Systematic is from a Latin word that is systema, which means systematic arrangement of an organism. Is that clear? So it means systematic arrangement of an organism. Is that clear? Hello, good morning, wake up. So it means systematic arrangement of an organism. Properly, in a systematic way, you are putting an organism, right? So now we will discuss what exactly is this systematic. So systematics mein beta, identification, nomenclature, classification is there. But along with that, you will talk about the evolutionary relationship, that how one organism is related to another, how do they evolve. So we will consider everything. So in systematics, what will you consider? Yes, everyone. In the systematics, what do we have? Yes, everybody. So systematics will include, so it includes identification, comma, nomenclature, first classification, comma, nomenclature, and evolutionary relationship. So beta, for evolutionary relationship, the other word that you use is phylogeny. Just evolutionary relationship, when you study that, na, that is phylogeny, right? So phylogenetic relationship, that's the word. So it is having same meaning. So it includes identification, classification, nomenclature, and evolutionary relationship between organisms. Between organisms. Is that clear? Is that clear? Pakka bacha? Pakka. So Linnaeus used Systema Naturae as the title of his publication. So Linnaeus used Systema Naturae as the title of his publication, right? So when he published his, the title of his publication was, as if we have the books, they are having some titles now. So beta, when we do some research, we have to publish that, right? There are research papers, journals where we have to publish our research. So he gave the title Systema Naturae. Right, what was the title there, bacha? That was the Systema Naturae. Another important point. So taxonomy and systematics, which is also referred to as biosystematics या फिर modern taxonomy. So that's what you need to understand. So term systematic refers to diversity of organisms and their evolutionary relationship. Is that clear? So term systematic. Yes, please. Everybody, please write it and wake up. Good morning. So term systematics refer to what? To the diversity of organisms, right? And their evolutionary relations. To the diversity of organisms and their evolutionary relations. That is what we need to understand here. So that is what we have here in the systematic. So do you have any doubt? Yes, please. So beta, overall, if you talk about the taxonomists, so what are they going to use? So taxonomists use external characters, internal characters. So taxonomists, they use everything. Externally, they will observe the thing. They'll see the morphology. They'll see the outer form. They will see the internal structure also, right? The kind of tissue, the kind of development, everything they consider before this classification. So they use external structure, external characters, internal characters. Yes, please. So external and internal structures along with, yes please, along with cell structure, comma, developmental process. They consider everything, right? Developmental process and ecological, where that organism is, all the interactions. So everything will be considered. So ecological information of an organism. So that will be considered, bacha. So everything will be considered. Am I clear? So external and internal structures along with cell structure, developmental process, ecological information of that organism. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes, bacha. So if there is any doubt, do let me know. Yes, please do let me know. Done? Sure? Good morning. Sure? That's great. So let's talk about that scientific rule. So we will talk about that binomial nomenclature na. Jaise dekho beta, in the chemistry, right? When you name that chemicals, you go for the IUPAC naming na, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Same way we are also having, right? We are also having the same thing here. Jaise for an example, what we have to discuss before starting the binomial nomenclature, we are going to talk about ICBN and ICZN. So what is this ICBN and ICZN? Let's talk about that. Ready beta? Let's talk about that. Hanji, so do you have any doubt till then, till this part? So ICBN, that's important, huh? ICBN and ICZN. That's what we need to discuss, and question can come from this part, right? So they both are what? ICBN and ICZN. Their full form can be asked. So both are international codes for scientific, right? For the scientific nomenclature, right? Yeah, scientific naming, या फिर scientific nomenclature. Now here we need to understand something very important. So nomenclature means naming, right? Just if there is a newborn, we give the name na. So that is what we have. So here we have certain rules for that. So when you talk about ICZN, so ICZN means international code. So it is not Indian, it is international code of zoological nomenclature. What's that, beta? It is International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. What's that? International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. And now when I talk about this International Code, right? International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. Done, beta? Done, done, done. This part is clear. Everyone, please pay attention. This part is clear. So, now if I talk about, say here I am writing for. It is as per NCERT. NCERT says it is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. If you see NCERT, bacha, so in the NCERT part, you people are going to see this, that it is for is written. What is written in the NCERT? Let me show you. See, International Code of Zoological Nomenclature, right? And International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. That is what we have in NCERT, right? But on official website, it is International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So this is my advice. You remember both the conditions, because sometimes they just give the options as per NCERT. If for is given, right? If for is given in the options, go for the for. But otherwise, I will suggest you, beta, do remember the accurate information here. So it should be International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, right, bacha? International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Understood? Yes, please. Understood. Hello, hello. Good morning. Sure. Sure. So next part that we need to understand is the binomial nomenclature. What's that? Bi means two. Binomial nomenclature. So beta, binomial, जैसे earlier ना, so language which is used to name, it is the Latin language. Do you know why? Do you know why? So binomial, देखो, bi means two, right? So it is a system of giving two, right? It is a system of giving every species a two-word scientific name. So it is a system of giving each species a two-word scientific name. A two-word scientific name. Is that clear? A two-word scientific name. So what that two words are? First is genus, and that is also known as generic name. We'll discuss that in detail. Please pay attention. And the second one is what? Second one is species, or you can call it as specific epithet. What do you call it? Species or specific epithet. Is that clear? Genus or generic name, species or specific epithet. So first name is this, genus or generic name. Second is the specific epithet. It was earlier, it was not like that. They have planned that we will go for the two words only. No, beta. So binomial nomenclature mein two words were given. It was popularized by, it was given by Carlos Linnaeus, right? Who's also the father of taxonomy. So it was popularized by Carlos Linnaeus. But beta, here the funda is initially it was not like that, right? This polynomial nomenclature was also there. Many names were there. So this binomial nomenclature, the language here is beta Latin. Why Latin language is preferred? Why? Because it is a dead language. Dead language doesn't mean ki language is dead. Because this language is not this is not in use, right? It is not in use. So if it is not in use, the chances of changes will not be there, right? So Latin is basically a universal language of science. So this is what you need to remember here. When you talk about this Latin now, so it is the universal language of science. Do remember that. It is the universal language of science. That is why, bacha, it is preferred. That is why it is preferred, right? So scientists from different countries can use the same names, beta. So it is that is the first reason. Second, it is the dead language, as I said. So because it is a dead language, so the changes or the modifications will not be there. So there will be no confusion, right? So it will not change normally with time. So scientific name there remains relatively stable, right, beta? Right? So it is not in use. So not changed with time. So bacha, scientific names will be universal then, right? Scientific names will be universal, like they will not change as per region or country. They are going to be universal. That's why we don't go for the English, right? So Latin language, it will be common, it will be throughout, right? So it avoid the confusion from the common name. So it can be easily adapted to describe any characteristic, any habitat, or even the discoverer, right? So this language can be easily, very easily, it can be used to describe the habitat, right, the discoverer, the characters, everything. So that is why, bacha, the Latin language is preferred. Okay, that is why Latin language is preferred. So as I said, right, the yes, please. So other languages, sorry, the what do we call it? One second. Hanji. So yes, beta. So other languages, that is why Latin was preferred. So changes will not be there. So that's what you need to remember. So we will discuss that, right? And I told you, so whatever handwritten notes are there, you can pick that up. Now I will use the NCERT also. So you please pay attention. So as I said, what's the word that we have? We have binomial nomenclature. What is the word that we have here? It is binomial nomenclature. So as I said, two words are given. Two words. What I just said? I just said first is the genus name, that is also known as the generic name. And second is what, beta? Second is the species name. So species name is basically specific epithet. Species name is basically what? It is specific epithet. Am I clear? Am I clear? So I will give you the example, right? Just say mango, right? Mango. What is the name? The name, scientific name of mango is Mangifera indica. Beta, Mangifera indica. So that's what you need to understand. All the points are given in NCERT. So when you talk about the genus name, you will see first letter. It will always be in capitals. Then everything will be small. In the species name, here all letters are in small case. They are not in uppercase, they are in small case. Now, whenever you will write the name, just say this is going to be the genus name, yeah, generic name, and it is going to be the species. I'll tell you what is the meaning of genus, what is the meaning of species. That is also something we will discuss, but as of now, understand that, right? So genus is there, species is there. Genus is there, species is there. So genus name, generic name, species name. So bacha, because they are in language Latin, so they are italicized. Scientific names, they are scientific names, they are italicized. That will show their Latin origin. So when we print them, when we type or print, hai na? So they should be in italics. What sort of font should be there, beta? Italics, right? The tilted sub font. It should be in italics, beta. Tilted font. Are you getting my point? And when handwritten, they should be underlined the way I'm mentioning here. So when handwritten, they should be underlined. Okay, underline. So whenever you write the species name, genus name or species name, genus name, first letter should always be in capital. Then you people will see, right, the species name. So there should be a gap. And whenever you underline them, the separate line should be there. Just say for an example, if I'm writing Mangifera like this, Mangifera indica, and there is only one line, this is incorrect. This is incorrect. If it is like this, indica, but they are separately underlined, that is also incorrect. If let's suppose you are writing it like this, Mangifera and then indica. You're not underlining it when handwritten. It is incorrect. Now when you are underlining it, and if there is one line, that is also incorrect. So this one is the correct one. Just say Mangifera. Even if it is like that, na ki I'm writing I as capital and then I'm underlining it, that is also incorrect. So that's the correct form. Here, in the genus name only first letter should be in capitals, rest all small. The gap should be there. So genus or species name. So all letters are in small case there. So this is the nomenclature rules that we have to follow. So first is genus name. Second is the specific epithet. So here you people can see. So binomial nomenclature. Who gave this system? Who popularized this system? Carlos Linnaeus. Okay, beta. Okay, so two-word format is there, right? Two-word format is there. So they have given the example of mango. So here, beta, they are not showing it in the italic format. So you underline them. You underline them, right? So Mangifera is genus, bache. Indica is what? Indica is the species or specific epithet. So these are the rules that we have. Okay, so next topic that you need to write is these rules. So it is important. It is very important. Okay, it is very important. So you can see biological names are generally in Latin and they are written in italics. They are in Latin, they are written in italics. So they are Latinized or derived from Latin irrespective of their origin. It doesn't matter, beta, whatever country you consider. The scientific names, this is as per the international rules for that scientific naming. So it should be in the Latin language. So why do we write it in italics? Because that will show their Latin origin, number one. Now the first word in a biological name will represent the genus and the second component will show the specific epithet. So both the words, beta, when handwritten, as I told you, they should be separately underlined. Just say if I'm writing Pisum sativum is for what? For P, right? Just say Solanum, Nigerum, black nightshade. Then you have Solanum, Melangena, your eggplant, your brinjal. Ma'am, do we need to remember that? Absolutely. Right, beta. Let's suppose if this is Panthera tigris, you're talking about the tiger there. So that's how you're going to write it. So first word will denote the genus, starts with a capital letter, and the specific epithet start with a small letter. It can be illustrated like that, but there is a mistake. So genus or species. Genus or species. Am I clear? So genus or species. Am I clear? Am I clear? So that's what you people need to know. And name of the author appears after the specific epithet. So that is how we write it. Say Mangifera indica. So beta, if I'm writing it like this, then Lin dot dot. It should be in abbreviated form. It should not be the complete name. It should be in abbreviated form. So this is basically the name of author who described this species, this particular species for the first time, right? So here it is in the abbreviated form, name of author, right? So it was first described by, this species was first described by Linnaeus. Am I clear? First described by Linnaeus. Okay, bacha. So there are many other things also, right? Just say many other things, the first author and this and that. But whatever is given in NCERT, let's discuss it as per that, right? So tautonyms are also there, which are not valid in plants, but are valid in animals. Just say one word is tautonyms. Do you know tautonyms? Not valid for plants, but for animals. Just say for an example, naja naja, akhiyan to dur, nahi beta. So that cobra, Indian cobra that you discuss. So genus and the specific epithet is same, right beta? So generic and, yes please, pay attention. So generic and, generic name and specific epithet is same. generic name and specific epithet, they both are same, bacha. Okay, so you can see that. So that are tautonyms. Understood? That are tautonyms. Up to this part all clear? Up to this part all clear, beta? Nomenclature clear? So Linnaeus proposed scientific name of plants in his book. Which book, bacha? Species Plantarum. Okay, done. So Linnaeus proposed. One more point that I missed. We will also discuss that. That I missed. I am so sorry for that. So Linnaeus proposed. Yes, please. Scientific name of plants in his book. Scientific names of plants in his book. Species Plantarum. Right, beta? Species Plantarum. So in this book, he mentioned that scientific name for that plants. Okay. Okay. Good morning. Done, bacha? So that is it. But before that, I just forgot to share one more point with all of you. So let's discuss that. So please underline it. Please underline it and write it. Then I'll tell you what am I going to discuss. But first write it, okay? Yes, please. Done? Sure? Just 1 minute. Till then, do that. Yes, please. Done, bacha? Okay. So what is the trick that you have to remember? Dekho. So we were discussing the taxonomy branch of biology that deals with the identification, classification, nomenclature. Na? So what are the basic to taxonomy? For basic to taxonomy, there is a trick. There is a trick. I forgot to discuss it earlier. So there is a trick for the basic to taxonomy. What will be there? For basic to taxonomy, there is a trick. What is that trick? The trick is chicken. What is that trick? That trick is chicken. It's a different type of chicken. It is not CHICKEN wala chicken. This is CHICN chicken. So this is the basic to taxonomy. So what's that? Number one, which you already aware, characterization. Mane you will prepare a description of an organism. Number two is going to be identification. Then you are going to identify that. Then there will be classification. What will be there? There will be classification, and finally the nomenclature. So this is the sequence also that you need to remember. So that's the basic to taxonomy: characterization, identification, classification and nomenclature. Am I clear? Am I clear, beta? Classification, identification. So this chicken, characterization, identification, and then comes the classification and nomenclature. Okay, bacha? Nomenclature. So I hope these names are clear to you, right? I hope these names are clear to you. Done, bacha? Okay. So now what you have to understand is the taxonomy. Okay. So let's discuss that. So now let's start the next part, or I would say the last part of this chapter, right? So this is the basic to taxonomy is done, binomial nomenclature done, features done and dusted. So okay, so here, yes, we need to decode the NCERT. Just this part is simple, okay? So they are just giving us some examples. So now we will start the taxonomic categories. But before that, what we need to discuss? We need to discuss what is the meaning of Taxa or taxonomic categories. रुक जाओ. So before starting the taxonomic categories, I would like to use one word. No, I think first I should explain you the taxonomic categories. Then you will be having the better idea of this. Ruk jao. Next thing. Now, beta, you are classifying, hai na? You are going to classify the organisms. Yes or no? What will you do? You are going to classify the organism. Yes or no? You are going to classify the organisms. Just say, for an example, how do we describe something? You talk about the year, right? In a year, 12 months are there. In each month, we have the names. 4 weeks are there. In each week, 7 days are there. In each day, 24 hours are there. In each hour, you have, right? You have minutes. In that minutes, you have seconds. That is what we have. Now I have to classify an organism. Look around. You have different type of animals. Kingdom Animalia. We all know these names. When it comes to the animals, human beings are animal, a cat is animal, dog is animal, cockroach is animal, earthworm is an animal, bird is an animal, right beta? Right beta, the jellyfish that you see, that is also an animal, right? A worm that you see, that is also an animal. So we are so different from each other, but still we are placed in, or we are considered as animals. There are certain characters on the basis of that, right? There are certain characters on the basis of that we are all known as what? We all are known as animals. We know that. Okay, ma'am, that's fine. Fair enough. Now, but we have differences also. No doubt we share some things. We are not doing photosynthesis, right? Plants are doing photosynthesis. So they are doing photosynthesis placed as plants. Now, we are not performing photosynthesis. We are heterotrophic. There are certain characters which will be there. There are certain characters which will be seen. But what am I trying to specify? I am trying to specify this thing here, that certain characters are there, on the basis of that we are placed in a particular group. But again, on the basis of differences, similarities, mainly on the basis of similarities, we are placed in a different group. So as per that characters, we are further classified. We are further classified. So here we have to talk about nothing but the taxonomic categories. Are you ready for that? We have to talk about the taxonomic categories. Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear? So we have to discuss what? Taxonomic categories. So let's talk about the taxonomic categories here. Ready, beta? Let's talk about the taxonomic categories here. Ready? Yes, everyone, ready? Okay. So for taxonomic category, then I will define taxa. So taxonomic category, there is a trick. There are many tricks. We will use one. The trick is, beta, keep pot clean or family gets sick. Keep pot clean or family gets sick. Keep pot clean or family gets sick. Is that clear? So what do we have? The trick is keep pot clean or family gets sick. So K, kingdom, bacha phylum, then you have class, order, family, genus and species. These are the taxonomic categories that we have to understand first. There are other taxonomic categories also, but we will start from the basics, from the scratch here. So please pay attention. So you have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So the trick is keep pot clean or family gets sick. What's the trick, beta? Keep pot clean or family gets sick. Repeat it. Repeat it. Yes, please. Keep pot clean or family gets sick. What's the word that we have? Keep pot clean or family gets sick. Yes or no? Keep pot clean or family gets sick. So kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. And for plants, instead of the word phylum, you people will go for the word division. So kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. So what are they, beta? These are the 7 broad, essential, main obligate, matlab these are main, obligate, these are the terms that you use. Broad, essential, main, obligate, taxonomic categories. जैसे let's suppose if there is a school, there are the ranks. No, this one is principal, right? Vice principal, head of department, chemistry teacher, physics teacher. So different sort of ranking is there. Same is the case here. So here you have 7 broad, essential. You can use the word broad, essential, main, obligate, taxonomic categories. So I'm writing it again, bacha. Kingdom, phylum. So this phylum in plants, you use the word division for it. Then class, then order, family, genus and species. Family, genus and species. Am I clear? So this one is the highest taxonomic category. This one is the highest taxonomic category. This one is the smallest taxonomic category. Do you know that? This one is the smallest taxonomic category. Am I clear? So these are the 7 broad categories in which you are going to divide your... Yes, beta. Now am I audible? Now am I audible? Done? Yes, please. So these are the taxonomic categories. Am I clear? So kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So highest or the this biggest is the taxonomy. This is the smallest taxonomic category, or it is also known as basic unit of. It is also considered as basic unit of classification. What's that? That is the species. So now we will discuss that. We will consider all the scientist names also. So I hope up to this part everything is clear, right? Yes, beta. So I would like to specify this word here. Just we are using the word, देखो, taxon. These are the taxonomic categories. So we have the word taxon. Taxon is singular and taxa is plural. What is this taxon or taxa? Beta, this is a technical term that you are using for a rank. Just in a school, I am telling you, principal, जैसे managing directors, principals, vice principals, they all are present. They all are present. Same is the case here. So when you talk about the taxon, it's a single taxonomic unit or category at any rank, right? It is in simple language. It's a single taxonomic category, any taxonomic category, taxonomic unit or category of any rank. Like I'm not saying it should be of biggest, highest rank. Yeah, it should be of lowest rank, not at all. So taxonomic unit or category at any rank it is. So it's a single taxonomic or unit or category at any rank. Got it? At any rank. Right, beta? So rank word you are using the word taxon. It is all same, but technical term will be taxa. Right? So taxon is singular, taxa is plural. So it's a single taxonomic unit या फिर category. Is that clear? It's a single taxonomic unit or category. Am I clear, beta? It's a single taxonomic unit or category. Any doubt? Any doubt? So if in another words I have to define it, then I'll tell you what is hierarchy. We'll consider everything. We will discuss everything here. So don't worry about that. But make sure you write these terms. So a category is an abstract term that simply. So a category, just I'm saying na taxonomic category. So beta, category is an abstract term that simply defines, right? So it is an abstract term, bache. Yes, please. That simply represents a rank or a level So that simply represents a rank or a level of classification. Like at what level you're talking about a phylum, you are talking about a species, whatever it is, that's what you are going to consider. Am I clear? So category is an abstract term that simply represents a rank or level of classification, right? So in another word, how can I say, what can I say here? So each category is what? So category is an abstract term that simply represents a rank or level in classification. So each category referred to as a unit of classification. So each category is referred to as a unit of classification. What's that, beta? It is the unit of classification. That's how you can define it. So in every possible way, I told you how can you define. So it represents a rank and is commonly termed as taxon. So each category is referred to as a unit of classification. In fact, it represents a rank. So you should not be confused in any sort of language. So it represents a rank, beta. What does it represent? It represents a rank and is commonly termed as taxon. So I hope this part is clear. I hope this part is clear. Right, beta? So category, rank, taxon, it is all same. You can talk about it at any level. So there are 7 broad categories, beta. So trick for that is keep, pot, clean, or family, get sick, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So there are other categories also. There are other categories also which are used when required, right? They are used when required. So what these categories are, beta? That is, for an example, you have kingdom. Sorry, kingdom is the broad category. So let's suppose you are talking about sub-kingdom. You are talking about superclass, etc, etc. So these type of categories, they are not broad, they are not main categories, right? They are not obligate categories, but this is how they are present, right, beta? So any doubt? Yes, please, any doubt? So I will, right? So they are used only when required. Understood? They are used only when required. Is that clear? So I will give you one example. I'll give you the examples also here, overall examples. Say for an example, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Now let's take the example of housefly. So how are you going to classify that? Just a kingdom is Animalia. There are 5 kingdoms that we discuss, bacha. With time you'll get to know about that. We'll start our next chapter na, there you will discuss. So class will be Insecta. Order is going to be Diptera. Diptera means what? Just say Diptera mane 2 pairs of two pairs of wings. That's the meaning of this term. So class is Insecta. So family is your Muscidae, right? And then genus is your Musca and species is Domestica. Musca domestica. So that's what you people discuss here, right? Right, beta? This is what you need to know here. Am I clear? This is what you need to know here. So that's how you classify, right, please? That's how you classify. Am I clear? Hello, good morning, wake up. So that's how we are going to classify that. Okay? Okay? Yes? Right? So insecta. So insecta mane 3 pairs of legs. So in insects, this is what you're going to see. That's how you're going to classify that. Now, the another thing that you need to see here is kingdom. Then you will talk about beta division. What will you consider? Division. So then there is class, order, family, genus or species. That is what you have, or species. So kingdom, plenty. Division, let's suppose you are talking about angiospermae, right? Class, if you want to consider monocot, dicot, you know that in angiosperms we have that two classes, so you can take the example of that too, right? You can take the example of that too. So we will discuss each and everything here because this is important, right beta? So let's take the example of mango itself. So class will be mango, they are dicots, so dicotyledone. Order will be Sapindales. Look at the suffix here, ales. Family will be Anacardiaceae, ACEAE. Then genus will be Mangifera. Species will be Indica. So see, for the plants, you will use the word division here. So these are the 7 broad categories. So other categories, when required, when needed, we can use that too, right? We can use that too. So these are the 7 broad categories. So they are representing the rank, right? They are representing the rank. So that's what you need to understand. So after this, we will have the NCERT reading and we are about to end it, beta. We are about to finish it. So up to this part, all clear? So beta, the classification of, right? You talk about the classification. So beta, the classification of plants or animals, like whatever it is written in descending order. It is written in descending order. So do you understand descending order? The bigger one will be first. So just say for an example, that's how you will write now. So this is the descending order, beta. Kingdom, then phylum, class, order, family, genus, or species. So that's the descending order. Am I clear? So mainly that's how you can write. You are going to write it, right? Mainly. Now understand one more thing and the most common mistake. Just say for an example, I'm writing it like this. If this is, see beta, it is an NCERT also. If that is how I'm showing the arrow, means from species to kingdom. So which order it is going to be? Let me write it properly or else you will be confused. So if it is kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, or species. So this is what I'm giving you 2 options. If you can answer, please answer it quickly. Ascending या फिर descending. Which order it is? Is it ascending or is it descending? Everyone answer it. You can download the pi lens beta if you do not have that. So I'm giving you 45 seconds. Try to answer that. Which order it is? बच्चा लोग, hello. So beta, this is the ascending order. How come it is ascending order? Wow, 50-50 response. Bacha, look at the arrow here. Look at the arrow position here. So, because species, then genus, then family. So, species is the basic unit, smallest unit. So, you are going from species to kingdom. Then that is why it is ascending, right? But normally, how do we write it? We write it in descending order. So, I'll give you another example here. Look at this particular image of NCRT. So, in the NCRT also, bacha. So, when you see this side, species to genus to family to order to class to phylum or to kingdom. So, this is ascending order. Which order it is, bacha? It is ascending order. Everyone, please pay attention. Ascending order. Now, kingdom, then phylum, then class, then order, then family, then genus, then species. So, that's what? That is descending order. So, focus on the arrow part as well. So, do not make this mistake. Okay. Okay. So, do not make such mistakes. Done, bacha? Do not make such mistakes. So, any doubt? Any doubt? So, descending or ascending, whatever arrangement is there, it is known as hierarchy, right? So, descending or ascending arrangement of this arrangement is actually beta what? This is what we call as hierarchy. This is, let's suppose, top management, right? There are hierarchy, right? Let's suppose your phone, you have some SIM card related issue, network related issue, you will call the customer care, you will not directly call Ambani, ki, hello brother, right? What is going on? Why Jio is not working fine? So you will talk to the customer care executive first. So this is what you have to remember. So descending or ascending arrangement is there. Descending or ascending arrangement of these categories is known as hierarchy, right beta? Of these categories is known as hierarchy. Now we are going to write certain very, very, very important words, important points. But before that, again beta, please pay attention. Kingdom to species. Chalo, again I will write. Guys, please pay attention. We are about to finish it. So please pay attention. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus or species. Beta, when you move from, just see, kingdom Animalia, cockroach, lizard, butterfly, this jellyfish, snake, tiger, all are placed in kingdom Animalia. All are placed in kingdom Animalia. But are we that same? No. You know that kingdom is Animalia. But when I'm saying phylum Annelida, I am talking about, right, I'm talking about certain organism. When I'm saying phylum is chordata, I'm talking about certain organism. Just phylum chordata, 4 basic characters are there. Notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits, post-anal tail. These are the characters which are making them chordates. But otherwise, let's suppose if I'm talking about a starfish, that is a non-chordate. But still we are placed in a same kingdom. We are placed in a same kingdom. So basically when we put something in the kingdom, we see the certain basic characters. What we see beta? We see certain basic characters. Yes. Right? We see certain basic characters that we have. Some general characters, sorry. On the basis of that, you are saying this is an animal. Yeah, on the there are some general characters which are saying this is a plant. So beta, when you move from, right, kingdom to species, right? So when we move from kingdom to species, remember this part. General characters, mane that general characters ki haan, these should be the character, that's why you are an animal. But when we go down, we go for the similarities. So general character decreases. General character decreases, but common or the specific characters, similar characters, they increases. Increases. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Done better. Now, when you move from species to kingdom, जैसे when you go from smallest category to the highest category या highest to smallest. So, species to kingdom में what will happen beta? General character Yeah, specific character decreases. Sorry, general character increases because opposite will be there. But common or the specific characters will increase. I'll give you the example. Beta, consider the example here. Just for an example, this is one human being. This is another human being. We are the organism of same species. We are the organism of same species. We will share maximum similarity. Like if you compare a human being with a gorilla, right? You are comparing two human beings. You are comparing one human and gorilla. Obviously, human and human will have more similarities, right? Because we belong to the same species. So when we move from kingdom to species, right? When we move from kingdom to species, our general character decreases, but the common characters in that groups, common character in that taxa, they increases, beta. Common characters, similarities, they increases. Just for an example, if I will compare, I'll give you an example. If I will compare Panthera tigris with another Panthera tigris, if I will compare Panthera tigris with another Panthera tigris, obviously I will see maximum similarities because their species is same. But now if I compare Panthera tigris with Panthera leo, Panthera tigris with Panthera leo, so obviously in comparison to the organism of same species, here number of similarities will be lesser. Number of similarities will be lesser. Once again, listen to me. Tigris, same species, maximum similarities. We are human beings. We are not ditto same, but we share maximum similarities. You compare Tigris with Leo. So when you compare Tigris with Leo, then in comparison to the Tigris, the similarities will be lesser. So as we go from species to genus, to family, to order, to class, to phylum. So you will see general characters will be common, that specific characters will decrease, general character will increase. Common characters, similarities will be lesser, but general characters will be there. Ki hanji, on the basis of that, you have kept them in animals. I'll give you one more example. Now, still this is the same genus. So now I'm comparing a Panthera leo with Felis, your cat. So beta, obviously, now focus here. Focus here. These are the two organisms of same genus. And now here the genus, it varies. So obviously more similarities will be there amongst the organism of same genus. So as you go from species to kingdom, your similarities will decrease. General characters will be more. You will see the common characters there, but you will see the general characters there. On the basis of that, you have kept Kianji, you should be in this particular kingdom, yeah, in this particular phylum, yeah, in this particular class. If I'm saying class Mammalia, so I am talking about those organisms having mammary glands, having hair, like this. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is that clear? So that is what you need to remember, right? That is what you need to remember. So now there are certain important characters which we are going to study now. Ready? Right? There are certain characters which we have to study and they are the most important one. And then beta, I will discuss further. So as you go from species to kingdom, number of common characters decreases. So as we go from species to kingdom, number of, this is as per NCERT beta, number of common characters decreases. Number of common characters decreases. This first point is clear. So anyone in the class having any doubt here? Anyone in the class any doubt here? Next language is beta. So obviously you can also write ki as you go from kingdom to species, number of common character increases. Right beta? So next is as we go from, these are the most important points. Species to, yeah, kingdom to species. Number of common characters increases. Done beta? So lower the taxon. Like lower taxon mane, these are the taxon when you are talking. These are the taxons when you are talking. So lower the taxa, your taxon, more are the characteristics that members within taxon share. Lower the taxon या taxa, more are the characteristics. Lower the taxon or taxa, more are the characteristics that members within a taxon share. So the best example of this particular part. So it is the best example here. It is the, जैसे see, lower taxa में species, more similarities. Even if the genus is different, species is different, more similarity. Even if you separate the genus, but family is same, then again you will see the similarity in their case. Right, beta? Then again you will see the similarity in their case. So that's what you need to remember. Am I clear, bacha? That's what you need to remember. So next point, higher the category. This is a very important point. Higher the category, greater is the difficulty of determining the relationship to other texts of the same level. So again, once again, I'm repeating, higher the category, greater is the difficulty in determining the relationship between organisms at same level. Please understand the language here, please. So that's what you need to see. So higher the category. देखो बेटा, lower category में similarities are more, higher categories में similarities are less. Now let's suppose you are considering the phylum Chordata. ठीक है, phylum Chordata. Consider this example. In the phylum Chordata, fishes are also there. Frog is in that phylum, snake is in that phylum, lizard is in that phylum, your gorilla is in that phylum, your chimpanzee is in that phylum, monkey is in that phylum. You see, you are talking about the phylum Chordata. Then you are taking the example of these organisms. You are not able to figure out the similarities. Why? Because you are considering a higher taxonomic category. So higher the category, greater is the difficulty. So in the higher categories, beta, in the top categories, because common characters are less, general characters are there. That is why they are kept in that particular category. But common characters are quite less, but they are too less. So because common characters are too less, beta, so there is difficulty. You cannot determine their relationship. You cannot determine the relationship. Cat and fish, you are placing it in same phylum Chordata. How will you determine their relationship? No doubt they have that basic fundamental characters, the basic characters of chordates, but what else? One is aquatic, one is on land, totally different. So that is why we are saying when you consider the higher categories, it is difficult to determine the relationship between the organisms at same level, right? Right? Done, beta? So determining the relationship to other taxa at same level, So NCERT language we will pick up here. To other taxa at same level. So up to this part all clear, beta? Up to this part all clear? Done, beta? So higher the category, less are the common characters shared by members. So this is the point that we have already discussed. So higher category mein lesser are the common characters that are shared. So lesser are the common characters shared. So these are the points that you have to remember, beta. Now we will go for the NCERT reading, and that NCERT reading will simplify many things for us, right? So that is going to be the last part. Then we will have the MCQ practice, and then we will end the class. So here you can see, please pay attention. So for an example, you can easily recognize plant, animal, dog, cat or insect, right? When you use these terms, right? When you are saying somebody is a dog, cat, yeah, insects, yes, you can recognize them, right? Just say, let's suppose whenever you will hear the word dogs, you will imagine a dog, you will not imagine a cat. Now, if you think Elestians, जैसे German Shepherd, you know na, that's a breed. Now, instead of saying dog, somebody told you Alsatian, somebody told you Alsatian, German Shepherd. So, we know what we are talking about. Similarly, if somebody will say mammals, you would of course think of animals with external ear and body here. Likewise in plant, if I'm saying wheat, you know that, right? You will be having that picture in your mind. You will not think of rice, you will think of wheat only. So all that terms that they are saying, ki cat, dog, chai mammal, wheat, rice, these are some categories in which we have placed the organism. So the scientific term for these categories, remember, that's what I told you. Scientific term for these categories, just in general I told you dog, cat. So when we go for the scientific term, the particular scientific term there, beta, that is going to be taxa. That is going to be taxa. So taxa can indicate categories at every different level. Jaise these are 7 broad categories, 7 taxa, yeah, ranks they are, unit of classification they are, at any level you can talk about it. Jaise plant, they are also making a taxa, wheat is also making a taxa, mammal is also making a taxa, dog is also making a taxa. Is that clear? So dog is a mammal and mammals are animals. That's how things are related. So they all are representing taxa at different levels. Just for an example, animal, kingdom Animalia, class Mammalia, dog, you're talking about a particular genus, Canis. Now again, I'm not talking about further the species, ya fir the breed. So that's how things are related. So based on characteristics, bache, all living organisms can be classified into different taxa. So this process is called taxonomy, which you are all aware of. So be it external, internal characters, structure of cell, development, ecological information, everything is considered in the modern taxonomic studies, right? These are in the modern taxonomic study. That's important. So taxonomists, they consider everything in the modern taxonomic studies. Just biosystematics, modern taxonomy it is. So characterization, right? This is my trick here, the chicken. Characterization, identification, classification, nomenclature. They all are the processes that are basic to taxonomy. They all are the processes that are basic to taxonomy. So it is not something new, beta. It is not something new. Human beings have always been interested in knowing more and more, right, with reference to their own use. So earlier also, that is also an important point. Ye dekho bacha. In early days, human beings, they needed to find sources for their basic need of food, clothing and shelter. So earliest classifications, they were on the basis of use. Am I clear? So when you talk about the earliest classification, what you discuss, bacha, when you talk about the earliest classifications, so they were based on the various, on the uses of various organisms. So it was on the base of use. Is that clear? Is that clear? Done, beta? So here you can see, right? So when you study the relationship among organisms, that is phylogenetic relationship, then you talk about the systematics. That's what you need to remember. Systematics it is. So we have already covered that. Baki word systematic derived from Latin word systema, which means systematic arrangement. Baki systemic natura is the title of the Linnaeus publication, right, students? So in the systematics, you also consider the evolutionary relationship. Then comes the taxonomic category. So let's learn about the taxonomic categories from the NCERT here. Then beta, we are about to finish. Now see this. Classification is not a single step process. Important. Is it a single step process? No, it is not a single step process. This line is a previous year question. So there is hierarchy of steps in which each step here in this particular category represents a rank, right? It represents a rank. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes or no? Is that clear? Yes or no? Done? Sure? Now, since category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, these are the taxonomic categories. We have the categories. They are the part of taxonomy. So we are calling them as taxonomic categories, and all of them constitute the hierarchy. I hope up to this part all clear. So basically in the taxonomy, you are going to arrange the organisms. There are different categories. So you are using the word taxonomic categories. So you are also using the word taxon there, which is singular. So it represents a unit of classification. So each category, as I said, is a unit of classification or represents a rank beta. Now, insect, just I told you, it means group of organism. When I'm using the word insect, I'm saying group of organisms sharing common features like 3 pairs of jointed legs, right? See this. That's why I'm saying that these notes are amazing. You don't have to. There's 3 pairs of legs here. So let me rectify. 3 pairs of jointed legs here. Be more precise. 3 pair of jointed legs mane. 3 pair of jointed legs mane. You are talking about everybody. Insecta. You're talking about insecta. Am I clear? 3 pairs of jointed legs mane. You're talking about insecta. So it means insects are recognizable objects which can be classified. So that is why they are placed or they were given a rank. Okay, bacha? Okay. So category is denoting the rank. Now, another important line which you all need to remember, that these taxonomic categories or groups, they are distinct biological entities. They are not merely morphological aggregates. I'm writing this line and I'm putting the word very important because I know some students, they don't understand that. So these taxonomic groups, beta, please pay attention. These taxonomic groups or categories are distinct biological entities. They are distinct biological entities. Please pay attention. And not merely morphological aggregates. And not merely morphological aggregates. Anyone in the class who can explain this line to me? Yes, please. Right? Those who say na that we know NCERT, we understand NCERT. So please try to tell me that. Done? Done? Yes? Quick. So what is the meaning of this particular line? Beta, see, what this is trying to tell you, that taxonomic categories are not distinct biological, they are the distinct biological entities, not merely morphological aggregates. Mane, when you are putting something in the taxonomic category, in a particular taxonomic category, you are not looking at their morphology only external features ki hanji they look alike, yeah, they are similar, so we have to put it. No beta, no, it is not just the morphological aggregates, right beta? These are not just the morphological aggregates, they are based the biological entities. That is what they are trying to tell us. Okay, that is what they are trying to tell us. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? So that is the meaning here. Ki these taxonomic groups, they are not related to external features only. They are not the aggregation of external features only, right? But they represent a real biological meaningful group, right? They are represent a real. So taxonomic categories, they represent a real biological, living biological group. It is not just telling us that these are just the morphological aggregates. Mane, they have just similarities, right? They just have similarities. Just say, let's suppose if butterfly, bird or bat, they all can fly, but you are not putting them in one taxonomic group. Just say butterfly, bat, they can fly. I'll give you best example. Butterfly, bird or bat. Butterfly, insect. Bird, class aves. That this bat is mammalia. They all can fly, but we are not putting them in one group. So it is not just the morphological aggregates, beta. Here, no doubt they have this common feature. They all can fly, but overall biological characteristics, overall their evolutionary relationship, it is different. It is different. So insecta is another taxonomic group, beta, right? Because they have that, 3 pair of jointed legs. So that's what you have to understand. Not just the morphological similarities we will see and we will put them in one taxon. We have to consider other aspects as well, right? We have to consider other aspects as well. That's what they are saying. So taxonomic studies, we have this, you can see that. So kingdom, phylum, division for plant, class, order, family, all that things are there, beta, right? So species is the lowest category, right? So the basic requirement is the knowledge of character of an individual. So this will help in identifying similarities and dissimilarities, right, beta? So next is the species. So this term was given by John Ray. This term was given by John Ray. Right, beta? So scientist name is important to understand. So remember, one second. John Ray. Chaliye, I'll tell you. Dekho beta. One is biological species concept. There is something known as biological species concept. So that's your homework in the chat, after ending the class, in the comment section, I want you people to answer that. Biological species concept. So it was given by Ernst Mayr. Do you know about Ernst Mayr? Beta, Ernst Mayr is also known as Darwin of 20th century. Ernst Mayr is also known as Darwin of 20th century. He gave the biological species concept. John Ray gave simple species concept. Biological species concept is different. Simple species concept is different. So that is given by John Ray. That is given by John Ray. Am I clear? That is given by John Ray. So term and concept of species is given by John Ray, but biological concept of species is given by Ernst Mayr, who's the Darwin of 20th century. Is that clear? So species are group of individuals. Jaise they can, ye dekho, this is written here. Why to write it? Group of individuals with fundamental similarities. We have the fundamental similarities, right? So taxonomic studies, as per that, what are these? What is the species? Organisms having the fundamental similarities. So we can distinguish one species from another based on the distinct morphological differences. You can differentiate a human being from cat. Differences are there, right? So here they have given us the examples which we have to remember, beta, which we really need to remember. Is that clear? Is that clear? These are the examples. So here they have given us Mangifera indica. So indica is species. Solanum tuberosum, Leo. So Leo indica tuberosum, they are what? They are the name of the species. They are the name of the species. So term was given by, right? Term was given by, and species concept was given by John Ray, but biological species concept, right? It was given by Ernst Mayr. So species is a group of individual sharing a common gene pool. What are species? A group of individuals sharing a common gene pool, right? Gene pool, you understand? Genetic information, right? Common gene pool arising from common ancestor, and are capable of interbreeding. Matlab they can interbreed, plus they can give birth to fertile organism as well. Common gene pool is there, common ancestor is there. Is that clear? Is that clear? So there are morphological differences. On the basis of that, we can differentiate them, right, beta? We can differentiate them, right, beta? So each genus may have one or more. Up, next part that you have to understand. Beta, please pay attention, because if this part is clear, then you just need to pick up the examples and that's it. The chapter will be order, right? Then you just need to pick up the example. Dekho. If we talk about kingdom Animalia is having phylum. Kingdom Animalia is having the phylums, right? In your syllabus, phylums are there. One second. So in the kingdom Animalia, you have the phylums Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminth, Esculminth, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. Why are you putting them there? There must be some general characters which are common to them. So, kingdom, it will have the group of related phylums. That's how you have to remember. Matlab, in a kingdom, what do you have? Just in year, 12 months are there. In 1 month, 4 weeks are there. In each week, 7 days are there. Same way. Kingdom is having what? Kingdom is having phylum. Kingdom is a group of related phylums. You are not putting the phylum of this fungi or of a division of this plant into Animalia. So they have to be related. So group of phylum. Phylum is what? Group of related classes. Class is the group of related orders. Order mane some related families. Mane in order many families will be there because they are having some common characters. Right? They are having some common characters. So then comes the genus. Family is a group of related genus and genus is a group of related species. This is one way to define that. Another way, species. So genera consist related species. Family consist related genus. Order consist related families. Class consist related orders. Phylum consist related classes. Or kingdom consist related phylums. That's how the things are. Am I clear? That's how the things are. So ultimately, that is the agenda. That is what given in NCERT. So you people can see that. So all the 3 names, just say indica, tuberosum. So examples which are given in NCERT, they are important. Right, beta? Now, next part is each genus may have more than one specific epithet which will represent different organism. Organisms are different. Genus is same, species is different. Organisms are different, but they are having some similarities also. But obviously, beta, similarities are more at species level. Human and human, they have more similarities. Yet lion and lion is having more similarity. Lion and tiger is having lesser similarity. Okay. So as you go up from species to kingdom, similarities will decrease. So I'll give you the example here. Just see, we have Panthera. Panthera is the generic name, genus. So here you have different species. Just Leo, lion, tiger is there, pardus is there. Right? Paradus is there, not pardus. I don't know. So it means my body is demanding food and tea. है ना? Body is demanding food and tea. So pardus is there. So that is leopard, tigris, so tiger, and then you are having the lion. So that's what you have here. Am I clear? So Leo, tigris, pardus, genus. So yes, they have similarities, but you will compare Panthera, Leo with Leo. They are having more similarities, and rest other will have comparatively less. But again, beta, if you will compare them with a different genus, just Felis, if you will compare it with a cat, then obviously the similarity between Leo and lion or tiger will be more than the lion or Felis. And now let's suppose if I am comparing a lion with a cat, because cats are these are small cats, these are large cat, these lion and all, they are large cat. Now if I compare it with a dog, that is Canis. If I compare it with a dog, that is Canis. So obviously lion or cat will have more similarity, beta. Lion and cat will have more similarity in comparison to dog, because now here the genus is different, even the family is different, right? So Panthera, you know that this Panthera is having, beta, this is not in proper format, it is not in italics, so make sure you don't make mistake here. So this is what you have. So Solanum nigerum, Solanum melangena, this is what you have, right? These examples are given, you should know that. This is Solanum may, do remember Solanum is genus. So you have Solanum nigerum, black nightshade. You have melangena. You are talking about the eggplant here. Then you have Solanum. Hanji, nigerum is there, melangena is there, right? Other examples are also there. Yes. Done. So this is what you need to know. So Solanum nigerum, black nightshade, Melangena is there. So there is one more, right? That is your Lycopersicum. So Lycopersicum is also there in the paper. So Lycopersicum, it is your tomato. So look at this. Genus is same, but the species, they are different. Species, they are different. So examples are important, right? This is human beings, Homo sapiens, sapiens. So now you can see here, what do you have in genus? Group of related species. Group of related species. So I have given you the example of Solanum, Panthera leo, Tigris pardus, right? So I told you, when you compare it with the phallus, you'll see lion or tiger will have more similarity. They will comparatively have less similarity to the phallus. But now if you change the, right, if you move to the higher category, just say if you go for the family, so you will see, just say phallus and tiger, they belong to same family. Cat and tiger belong to same family. Dog belongs to a different family. So tiger or cat will have more similarity. So that is what we are saying. So family has group of related genera with less number of similarities compared to genus and species. So at the level of genus or species, matlab at lower level, species maximum similarity, genus lesser, family less than even lesser than genus. Right? So in the case of families, beta, what will you consider? So there will be the vegetative and reproductive features when you talk about plants, right? The vegetative characters, right? That stem, root, everything you will consider. You will consider the reproductive characters as well. So now here, again, as I said, examples. We have to focus on examples, and these are the examples that you all have seen in your day-to-day life. So Solanaceae, so family mein, what is the suffix in the case of family? So it is ACEAE, right? So in the case of plants, so plants family mein suffix is ACAC, ACEAE, or order mein it will be ALES. So these are also the things which you should focus. So you have three different genus example here. Just Solanum, you have Petunia here, and then you have Dhatura. So examples should be there on your fingertips. Okay, bacha? Okay, but family is same. So Dhatura, Solanum, so different from each other, but family is common. Now, same way, beta, jaise Fallidae is the family. Fallidae is the family. So Fallidae mein you have Panthera leo, you have Panthera tigris also, right? And this phallus is also phallus, which is cat, that is also belong to this particular family. Okay, beta. Okay. Now, Canidae. So Fallidae is the cat family. Canidae is your dog family. So sometimes question can be asked like that. Okay. 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 So related genera with less similarity as compared to genus and species. Okay. Next is beta order. Now, as you move up, you will see, right? You will consider many characters at a time. So ye dekho. Earlier, that categories like species, genus and families, they have number of similar characters. But beta, when you move to the higher categories, jaise generally, order and other higher taxonomic categories, they are identified based on aggregate of characters. Mane, in the species, similarities are there. Genus may be similarities. Families are also having similarities. But when we go up, now we are raising that bar, right? We are moving towards the highest categories. So now you will not focus on one or two characters, yeah, more of the similar characters. You will consider group of characters. Just say I have a group of organisms there. So I will see who are showing the maximum similarities together. ठीक है जी, maximum similarity, I'll put that in the same species, right? But then I will see not just one character, right? I will consider many characters at a time, So aggregate of characters will be considered. Is that clear? So order being the higher category, it is the assemblage of families with few similar characters. So they are less in number in comparison to genus and the family, beta. So here one more example is given. So whenever there are examples, so you do remember them. So jaise order is Polymoniales, and which families are given here? Convolvulaceae. So your homework is, you will tell me any one common member of Convolvulaceae. That should be there in the comment section. So another is Solanaceae. Solanaceae member examples you know, but this is what you need to know. So this is on the basis of, based on floral characters. So they are placed in, so it is as per NCERT, beta. In new classification there are many changes, but that's what you need to know. So animals may, the example that they are giving is order Carnivora, and beta here you are having Fallidae also, you are having Canidae. So here their order is same. Can you believe that? Their order is same. Now beta class will have related orders. earlier explained it. So order is Primata, that is having monkey, gorilla, gibbons. They all are in class Mammalia, right, with order Carnivora. So now what should be the hierarchy? You can make it like that. Okay, now the example that they have given is class Mammalia. Order that they have given is, one is Primata, another is Carnivora, another is Carnivora. So Carnivora mein they are giving you the example of Felidae or Canidae family, mane dog or cat. But here they didn't mention the families. They have simply mentioned that your monkey, your gorilla and gibbon, they all are placed here. They all are placed here. So examples are the important one. That's how we have to decode our NCERT. So then comes the phylum, bacha. So phylum mein you know that, jaise class, phylum, chordata, 4 basic characters are there: notochord, dorsal nerve, hollow nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits, and then postanal tail. So if they are present, if notochord is there, the entry will be given in the phylum chordata. So that's how you will study that. So in animal kingdom, we will discuss that in detail. So for plants, the word used is division. Baki beta, all animals belonging to different phylums, they will be assigned to the highest category called kingdom. So kingdom Plantae will have plants from various division, right beta. So taxonomic category from species to kingdom, they are in ascending order. In the diagram which I have shown you, look at that arrow. So these are the broad categories. So I already told you subcategories are also there. They are used when needed beta, and these important points we have already written there, right? So as we go higher from species to kingdom, number of common character goes on decreases. Lower the taxa, more are the characters that members within the taxon share. Higher the category, greater in difficulty in determining the relationship. So this is what we need to know. This is all about the chapter. This table is also given there. Make sure you revise it, you read it well. Jaise Homo sapiens, sapiens, human. So family, Hominidae. Order, Primata. Musca domestica, very common. Jaise Mangifera indica, right? Anacardiaceae is the family, order is Sapindale. So look at this. Suffix here is ACEA, ALES. Plants में Triticum aestivum, class is monocotyledonate, order ALES, Poaceae family. Or in animals, the suffix of family is IDA. So these are also the details which you need to focus. So this is all about the chapter beta. So first chapter is done and dusted. First chapter is done and dusted. So let's solve few questions and then let's move to the next. Let's end the class then. ठीक है जी. So let's discuss few questions and then we will end the class. So here you have the first question in front of you. You will get 45 seconds for that. So speed up, answer it, and later in the comment section do mention the homework questions. Okay. Very good, Aryan. Very good, beta. But now please answer that quick. Now it's time to take some rest. Quick. Yes, please. Done. Chaliye, let's discuss that. So, definition of biological species was given by Ernst Mayr, Darwin of 20th century. Photo period doesn't affect, it does affect. Binomial nomenclature, Carl Linnaeus, also the father of taxonomy. Reproduction is synonym with growth. Yes, beta, A or D? Do we have? Yes, C is the option here. Right, C is the option here. Very good, guys. Chaliye, one more question. Sorry for this. So these are not my questions. I'm looking for my questions. So my questions, they are not here. I will. It's okay. Chaliye. This is a very simple question. It is a very simple question. It's a NEET 2026 PYQ. Which one of the following statement is not true about the universal rules of binomial nomenclature? Quick. Yup. Do it. So, beta, later on, I'll share the PDF in my personal Telegram group also, Love Biology by Ambika. You will get it in our official WhatsApp group also. You can join that. The link will be there in the description box. So, this is the first chapter of Backlog series. We have completed it in detail. Okay. So, in this way, we will complete other chapters also. So, if you are still thinking that, yes, I need to enroll in the batch, you people can, because we will finish your chapters like that. Okay. Okay, so later you can just go for the MCQ practice as well. So let's discuss it, which is not true about the universal rule. Both the words, when handwritten, separately underlined and printed in italics, true. Specific epithet starts with small letter, true. First word represents specific epithet, not at all. Biological names are generally in Latin. So very good, the C will be the correct answer. So absolutely correct, guys. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you people enjoyed the lecture. So you can go to any of the video on our channel, and then what you people will see in the description box, there will be the link, bacha. So there is a link. Click on that particular link. So page like this will open. You have to log in. You have to register. You have to find Yakeen NEET in English batch. So if you go for the right batch features में live lectures, DPPs, regular test, doubt support, PDF handwritten, all basic things are provided to you with a promise of PW. We do not cancel classes, beta. We have a fixed schedule for the classes. If there are technical glitches, classes might get late for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That is common. But that is not common, but that can occur. But otherwise, we do not cancel the classes. We have a proper planner. We provide you micro planner. We literally provide you micro planner so that you can understand that how we are going to finish your syllabus. So we take the charge of your syllabus here in this particular batch. So we are not like any other edtech where the syllabus will just linger on. Not at all. Proper planner is there. Proper schedule is there. It's not like that today I'm in the mood, I will take the lecture for 6 hours, 7 hours straight, and then I'm not there for 2 days or 3 days. Nothing like that. Proper thing, proper planning is there. If one teacher is not available, other will come. If we are going to take leave, we inform our kids. And when it comes to the infinity, all that features are there. But along with that, my dear students, Khazana access. So whatsoever lectures are present on the PW platform in the language English, you will get the access of that. Yakeen NEET 2.0 English access. If you think कि नहीं यार, for one subject I need particular teacher from your group, but from your team, or I need to understand something in English, you can go for that. So digital books, module, preparation meter, NCRT Pitara, one of my favorite feature, is also available. So you can opt that. So today, in few minutes, right, the plan will change, the sale will not extend, so you can be the part. So done. Take care. Bye bye. Tata. Good night. Sleep tight and see you all in the next class. So make sure if you like the session, do let me know in the comment section. Okay. Do let me know in the comment section. So that is what I am expecting from you people. That's it. Right. Do let me know in the comment section. So take care. Bye bye. Thank you. Done, students.